What's going on, y'all? It's episode 3 of the Let's Be Real podcast. As y'all can see, I'm back with a guest today. Got my boy here, Wade.
Yes, sir.
So he gonna talk some NFL with us today. Gonna talk a little bit about his clothing brand at the end. As y'all know, I'm gonna be sipping on some red wine today. I got some Harvester from Paso Robles. It's actually a recommendation that I had gotten. So definitely send me any recommendations you have. I'll let y'all know what I think about this one. My man Wade, he out of the wines tonight, so he gonna be sipping on the iced tea. But it's gonna be a good time.
We're gonna have a good time, man. I got my iced tea ready. Let's get into it. I'm happy to
Bet,
be here.
and I'm gonna make sure we get you next time on. We get you some red because I know we're gonna have you on some more for NFL when track season comes on. I definitely want you on, so we'll make sure we get it going.
Yes.
But yeah, let's hop into it, man. So obviously we had NFL Week 2 and we had the Thursday night game last night. We're gonna start with just a recap of some of the bigger games from Week 2. So obviously starting off with Bills Dolphins, right? So obviously with that game we had a little bit of a scary moment with Tua.
Oh, definitely.
Obviously game got kind of out of hand for the Dolphins regardless. I think, me personally, I think with that Tua play, it's, obviously he's got the history of it, but looked like he was just trying to make a play out there. The whole time I'm sitting there, I don't know did you watch the game or not, but
Yeah, I was watching. Bro.
yeah. So I don't know if you saw the play, but man, I saw him taking off, and I'm like, slide. Like right when he passed that marker, I was like, get down. Yeah. So I don't know if you was having the same feelings, but yeah, man. So I know obviously you played football in the past. Ever had a concussion? Because I haven't.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about that play is, bro. So I'm at Vashti's house watching the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm with Ernie. I'm with the homies. We chilling. We watching the game, and this is right before halftime, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. All right, so the quarter's about to end, the half's about to end. I tell Vashti I'm about to go in, I'm about to leave. So I get in the car. My car's in the shop right now. So I'm driving wifey's car and it's on AM radio. So I'm getting the live feed of the game. I'm pulling up to the house and I hear like, oh, two is down. It doesn't look good. It looks like, I get the whole scary picture, but I get it off the radio. So I'm like, oh, I got to rush. I'm getting into the house. I'm rewinding it, and I see the hit, and I was just like, dang, man, that's a tough break for Tua. But for me, I can say that I've had a concussion before for sure. I've never been diagnosed with a concussion. I've never really had to miss no game. So crazy thing is I had my senior year, we were at Sac State. We were at our football camp, Sac State in the summer. This is like the last day, the last scrimmage, bro. It's probably like 5 plays left of the whole camp, right? I have
How it worked.
Yeah, man. I have a quarterback counter or something like that. I would take it up the middle. I try to lower my shoulder, and I just get popped hard too. Pause. So I got blasted, bro. And I'm on the ground. And I'm like, I just got to get up. So I get up, I go to the huddle, I take a knee in the huddle, and I'm just like head spinning, stars, everything. So I know, like, yeah, something's wrong. But the coach, man, my coach is like, we're just going to run power the rest of, the last 5 plays of the scrimmage. So I'm like, all right, bet I can hang in there. So I'm handing the ball off for the last 5 plays, and then we go home. And, like, ironically, we get back home, and, like, we're off for the next 2 weeks. So I ended up being cool. I made it through the camp. I didn't have to like miss any games or anything like that. But it's a crazy experience and it's a crazy thing to go through. So I mean, for Tua, man, I feel for him because I know he was trying to make a play. Once I watched it, I could tell like that's just instincts. It's hard to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The hit in that moment. It's like let me just go ahead and get as many yards as I can, put the team in a good position. So, man, that's tough.
Yeah. No, it is. And I mean, like, obviously as an athlete, I was an athlete, like, when you're in the game, like, you're not thinking about nothing. Like, it's just, like you said, it's all instincts. Yeah. And so it's like, and like, I mean, it's like, when you start thinking, like, oh, I need to, like, protect myself, things like that, when you're really thinking while you're out there, it's almost more dangerous for you anyways.
Yeah, man, for sure. You're not really playing full speed, so.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it is. It's tough, man. Like, the hit. Because, you could even see because he get them scary concussions with, like, the fingers and everything, man.
He had some of the scariest collisions, bro, like, that I've seen consistently, too. It's tough to watch him have that moment on the field, man. I really like Tua
Yeah.
too. Like I like his character. I like how he plays the game. I
Yep.
like everything about him for real. So, man, he's one of those guys that I'm like that I always pull for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Same with me. Same with me. Because like you said, he's an easy guy to root for. And
No doubt.
so like sticking with that though. Now obviously like he's already dismissed it since it happened. Like he's not going to retire.
Yeah.
But like, what do you think? Like if with where he's at, obviously it's different from a player point of view and like
Yeah,
someone on the outside, right?
for sure. I
Because like,
feel, man, it's tough to weigh on because it's like in the moment you don't like I don't want to like automatically go to, oh bro, you got to stop playing ball now.
yeah,
I don't want, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. Like when people were talking about that as soon as it happened, I'm like, that's kind of unfair for
yeah,
Tua to just shoot to, yeah, just hang it up, bro. So I
yeah,
mean, but the realist, you know what I'm saying? Realistically, you got to think about it because
yeah,
it's.
man.
But he had a good season last year, and if I'm not mistaken, he played every game.
Played the whole year. Yeah,
So I think that I know he's capable. You know what I'm saying? I know he can make it through a season, and it might just be a case of like, just don't run the rock, bro. Just
yeah. Said, take
you
this.
know what I'm saying? Like just
Do
throw it
that.
away, fall down. Anything's better
Yeah,
than you having to miss a couple weeks and going through a traumatic injury again, especially a head injury. So,
that's
but to your point though, bro, like
man.
it's tough. I want to say just get healthy, and if he feels confident and feels good, then keep playing ball. But I
Yeah,
understand why a lot of people would say, man, just you know what I'm saying, be safe, don't even risk it.
yeah, no, and like you said, I totally understand it. That because honestly, one of the first things I thought was I was like, after especially like once I saw him get up, jog off, I'm like, all right, he's good. Obviously,
Yeah,
I knew he was possibly out while he was up doing that, but that was one of
yeah,
the things I thought is I'm like, man, like it might be that time because it's just like how many of those hits can you take before it's just like you know,
yeah, bro. Because
but
it could go from you know what I'm saying. I feel like it's kind of went from bad to worse, and it could get catastrophic if
yeah,
you continue to have that kind of impact, and you have those moments where two
yeah,
more. If he has another season with 3 concussions, bro, that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that would
The
be
NFL
hard.
might
That would be
force him
really
out,
hard
man.
to continue. Yeah, it's like at some point, you got to protect him mainly
Yeah,
from himself. But
yeah.
I don't think
No, and
it's
that's
that. I don't think it's there yet.
no, I
It's
don't either.
close,
I think,
though. It's getting close.
but the way somebody else put it, and it's like I said before, it's different. I think coming from like an athlete perspective, right? Because something that somebody else brought up to me is like you got to think from Tua's perspective, like would you want that to be your last play of football ever? And I'm like,
No,
dang,
absolutely not.
yeah, I can't go out
Absolutely
like
not.
that.
'Cause that's gonna end up being your whole legacy. It's just like, damn, bro,
Yeah,
he just didn't even get the chance to really have a full career.
yeah. So
That's tough, man. I I
yeah,
I think that they said that he's kind of been like, yeah, I'm dismissed the idea, right? Of
yeah. He already came out like no chance I'm doing it. Like, which good for him. Like, because like I said, from an athlete point of view, like I wouldn't go out like that either. But
yeah,
just from like the outside looking in, I'm like, dang, I don't want to see him
man.
take another one of
Yeah,
them.
you don't want. Yeah, you just don't even want to see it. The chance of it
Yeah,
happening. Yeah.
yeah. No, it ruins the rest of the game. Because then it's just like the whole rest of the game. It's just like, man, I hope he's good.
I hope two is okay, bro. Every time he
Yeah,
gets tackled, it's like, man,
is it?
it's
Yeah,
like you holding your breath every time you see him take a collision. It's like, dang, bro,
yeah,
protect yourself.
exactly.
And that's what I would say, bro. Just protect yourself as best as you can. We know it's tough in them full speed,
Yeah,
instinctual moments, man. But
he need to talk with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was the king of what like when it was
yeah,
closed in, bro, just fell. He said, "I'm
yeah,
gonna just take the
we got to
sack."
do that for sure. Tom Brady, reach out to Tua, man, if you haven't
Yeah.
already. Start talking to him. He needs that right now.
Oh man, yeah, but no, all the best to Tua, man. Obviously the other side of it is, Josh Allen and the Bills, man, looking tough. Obviously,
Looking
Josh
good.
Allen, he was my choice for MVP this year because I thought he was going to have to be Superman
Yeah.
because of just what they lost. But
Oh
man,
yeah.
James Cook out the backfield,
Hey man, if you give Josh Allen that production on the ground, bro, like the Bills could be
he could be
scary.
scary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's playing. He's been playing consistent over the last 5 seasons, 4 seasons. Like he's had his moments, you know what I'm saying? But he's
yeah,
been playing good ball like every
yeah. And I
year.
mean, and the thing with Josh Allen is like, I mean, especially him, is he kind of runs into the problem every team over the last few years has run into. It's
Yeah, you
just
can't do nothing about that, bro.
he meets Mahomes in the playoffs, and it's
What can
like,
you, you know what I
you
mean?
know,
What can you do about that? That's the current, the Patriots. Like that's what it
yeah,
feels like. You have a great coach, you have a generational quarterback, and you have one of the greatest coaches of all time. And they
yeah,
click, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a
yeah,
magic in heaven. It feels like Belichick and Brady.
yep,
It's like, what can you do when you just play a better team and you
yeah.
don't
And
have
it's
to keep
just
playing?
yeah, and it's I mean, obviously, as we both Eagles fans, we know it's just when you get in those games with like Mahomes, and it seems like it's the same thing that happened with us in the Super Bowl, same things that happens with Josh Allen every year when he plays him. It's like if you make that one mistake in that game, whether it's like the Hurts fumble or
Man,
a Josh Allen pick or a Josh Allen fumble, it's like you almost it's almost like the Chiefs
the
aren't going to make
odds,
that
yeah,
mistake,
bro.
and
The
so
odds shoot the opposite
yeah,
way, man. You got to play a
exactly.
perfect
So
game, bro. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying, to beat them when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, bro. That was a damn near a perfect game.
it
Like,
was the one mistake that was the whole
yeah,
difference, and it's just and so from a perspective of the Bills, it's like again, like you said, with James Cook running like that. Granted, it was against Miami's defense, which they've
yeah,
they've shown issues over the last year and this year. But
most
if he can get a
definitely.
consistent run game with James Cook, and if even just one of those receivers pops, that team
Yeah.
could be scary.
So who should that receiver be? Like, who do you see that being?
Oh man! So honestly, I know Shakir is the one that everybody talks about, right?
Hmm.
That kind of he popped in the playoff game for him last year. I think who it needs to be is the guy they drafted this year. I can't remember
Yeah,
his name off
Coleman.
the top of my head. Yeah, Coleman. I think that because he's got the talent. So I think,
Yeah,
but then again, it's like relying on a rookie to be like your number one target is always going to be tough.
it's
But
tough.
I think that's
If
the
he
guy they
pops,
need
though,
to make that jump.
yeah, if he makes that jump, I think that could be scary because I mean, his game is like once he gets confident and once they put that confidence in him and he's showing them that he can do it, bro. Like he might kind of they might kind of have that Diggs Allen kind of relationship again. It could start
Yeah,
going in that direction. You know what I'm saying? If they get into rhythm, so
yeah,
it could kind of almost look like Kyler and
Kyler and
Marvin.
Marvin. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marvin's in a league of his own
Oh
in
yeah,
terms of
Marvin, different
young
level,
rookie
but
receivers. But man, I like Keon, bro. I think he's special. I think he could do something special.
yeah, no, he was the guy I was kind of focused on coming into the year. I think obviously Josh Allen's going to do just
Yeah,
Superman superhero stuff on the field. But like, depending on if Coleman can like really amp up and like make a jump to be like even like a mid level like number one receiver in the league,
yeah, man. If he
that
can
could be
solidify
huge.
himself as the number one, their guy, and then you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, they're giving him targets, and he's actually being efficient. Even that, bro, that could start to
yeah,
look a little bit. Yeah, that could look scary for a lot of teams in that division.
yeah. Because that
They
was, I
already
mean,
looking a bit scary just off
they
of James
are
Cook and
man.
my guy playing good ball right now, Josh Allen.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
man, they
No,
can do it.
yeah. I had him winning the division even like with like no expectation of a receiver, right? And so
Mm,
like you said, if Coleman can make that jump, or like I said, if like I said, Shakir's kind of the one I hear the name thrown around a lot. If any of them can make that jump, man, like, yeah, they go from like being a team where I'm like, oh, they're probably gonna win the division, and like I didn't really think too much of them in the playoffs, where it's like they be scary to meet.
Yeah, they could be scary to meet, bro, going into the playoffs.
Yeah,
So, I mean, coming off the back to back for KC, bro, like it's gonna be super tough to
yeah,
like anybody could kind of get with them. You know, it's how I don't think anybody's ever three-peated. So
no,
if it's
never.
a year, you know that it could happen, it's definitely this year.
Yeah, but so speaking of like teams that might look scary, man, let's talk about the Bucks Lions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think I coming into the year, man, I thought the Bucks were kind of going to be what they were last year, man. You know, they're going to win that
Yeah,
NFC South because it's trash. But
for sure.
man, they looking
Nah, they
tough
looking
this year.
good, bro.
Baker is slinging.
Yeah,
Bucks are looking tough.
yeah. Baker looking like himself now,
Yeah, looking
and
like a
that's
number one pick.
because we haven't really seen him at all be, you know what I'm saying, be who he was in college. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that they could be another one of those teams, bro. Like they give the
Yeah,
Eagles problems. I ain't gonna lie. They
man.
be giving
That's what I was
them
gonna
issues.
say. Last year in the playoffs, man.
Man, yeah. I like it
So
though. I think it's good. I think the Bucks um catching their rhythm is that's good for football. I like to see that though.
yeah, and I
I
think
like
too. I
to see
mean, just from that
Baker
Baker
do his thing.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think from that Baker perspective, man, too, is like, second year in the offense now, and you got paid. Like he got his contract, he
Yeah, he's
got paid.
cool.
That kind
He
of
can
gives you
just
that
ball
like,
out now.
yeah, it kind
It
of gives
gives
you
you a
that
little bit of
comfortability.
yeah, man. It makes you a little more comfortable. It allows you not
Yeah,
to worry about certain things that, you know what I'm saying, certain pressures you may have put on yourself going into a contract type of year. So I was happy to
yeah,
see that too. That they gave him
same.
something that, you know what I'm saying, they didn't try and lowball him. They did him right. I can
Yeah, no,
appreciate
like he ain't get the top market money, but like he got a nice little bag, and so yeah, no,
it.
I'm glad to see it. But
Yeah.
so moving forward, right? Because obviously they're in our division.
Right.
Would you want to see him in the playoffs again?
Um yeah, bro. I don't I think we could I think we're a better team, honestly. I think the
Yeah.
Eagles last year was just we had our rhythm at first, but then
Hmm.
it just got bad, bro. It got like I don't know if it was locker room stuff. I don't know if it's internal
Yeah.
things, you know what I'm saying, going on with Jalen and the coach, whoever, whatever it was. I kind of knew going into that game last year it might be over for us. I think we
Yeah.
may have
Yeah.
talked about that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
because they was catching their stride at that point, and
Yeah, they started really picking it up.
yeah, bro. We was on the decline.
Yeah.
So
So
I wouldn't mind. They're not a team that I'm like.
you're not we
They're
like you wouldn't mind it. You're not scared
I
of them.
wouldn't mind it, bro. Yeah, I'm not scared of the Bucks.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm falling. Like, I mean, obviously taking down the Lions is a big one because like after week one, I was like,
Yeah,
we'll see what they do because the Lions look good week one, and I'm like, we'll see what they do against the Lions, and I can kind of
yeah,
really gauge it.
yeah,
But I mean, they came out still slinging, so they I've got a little bit of fear around them. Like I don't think they're a real contender, like top tier NFC team,
yeah.
but I think if you catch them on the right Sunday, they could beat you.
Yeah, they might spank you on the right Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, hang up
They
30,
might
40
do
on you.
something back to you. Yeah, you got to be careful
So
with them bugs, bro. But
yeah, man.
I love I rock with everybody on the Bucks for real. I like Mike. I
Dude,
like Godwin.
Mike
I like
Evans, man.
Ty White. Like I like everybody on the Bucks, bro. So
Yeah.
I don't have no issues with them. But I think the Eagles, if we do what we supposed to do, bro, like we should go far. We
Oh
should
yeah.
get
Well, I think that's just obviously we're gonna talk about the Eagles in a minute, but
I can't wait to talk about it.
oh man, me
I
too.
don't think we got a chance to even talk about that one for real. So I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to that.
yeah, but yeah, like I just think, yeah, the Bucks like if they get the right matchup or you get them on the right Sunday, like they're a threat. But
Mhm.
flip
Yeah,
side of that, man, them Lions, man, took the L. Dan Campbell with like some huge mistakes, and that's
Yeah.
kind of been like his kind of
That's his
reputation over
thing.
these last few seasons.
That's him for real. He takes
Yeah,
risks.
like yeah, but I mean, even like because they had the mismanagement of the clock going into halftime where they didn't get a
Yeah,
score, didn't get a field
yeah,
goal, like and like he's had a couple of those where it's like so kind of my thoughts are, and I know he's done a great job in Detroit, right? And like we'll see how the rest of the season plays off, but I think he might be on like a warm seat, not a hot seat, but a warm seat
really. Okay.
because I think like, and we've seen it before where you got like, especially with defensive head coaches, where they come in and they set like they bring a culture, kind of build up the culture,
Yeah,
but they have those issues on offense or like issues with like clock management, time management, game management, where
right.
you build up that culture and bring in somebody like an offensive kind of head coach that can kind of take it to the next level. And
Mm,
so my thoughts are, again, I don't know if Detroit will do it. I probably not, but I would be tempted where depending on how they end the season, right? Like you have a couple more mistakes like that or something like that in the playoffs that might cost you a game. Like I'd think about maybe moving on, but kind of what's
yeah.
your thoughts
This,
about
after
just
after this season type.
man? Yeah, after this season, I would give him to the end of the season just
Mm,
because like I don't think with how I think the Lions are going to be good through the year.
yeah,
So I don't think you can get rid of him on a. I don't think you can get rid of a coach on a good team, especially like where it's like you think you could have a shot at winning.
yeah.
Like, but I think if they have like some other issues with like they did in this game, that I mean, he even got on the mic after the game talking about, yeah, this one's on me,
Yeah, so
and I
if
love
that's
that.
the trend, if they start trending in that direction, it could get hot.
Yeah, I think so. But like, what do you think about just like what that thought, and then just about like Dan Campbell in general and the Lions in
So
general?
okay, so I don't think his seat is warm yet. I think they're in love with Dan Campbell. I think
I think
like
so too.
yeah, I think Detroit is in deep love with the Lions right now with Jared Goff, with Amon Ra, with everybody, with Aiden. They love their guys right now. So I think that if it starts trending down though, then it could start getting a little bit that seat could start warming up. And I don't think it would become a hot seat unless they have a bad season.
Yeah,
Like I think if they end the year like 8 and 9
like right around
or
500 or so or less.
9 and 8, something like that,
Yeah,
and they miss the playoffs or they go and they lose for round one, I could see it being a little bit the pressure turning up on
like
it.
next year he starts on the hot seat
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, like
Yeah,
next year he's on the hot seat. But in terms of him in general, I remember watching the Hard Knocks season, and that was like my real introduction to like Dan
yeah,
Campbell. You know what I'm saying? And actually seeing like how he is, his personality, and things like that. And I like his personality. I like Dan Campbell. I think he's done a really good job building the team. Like
oh yeah,
getting drafting the right guys for one. He's did a great job drafting their organization.
yeah,
And two, bringing Goff in was like at first I didn't see that. I thought that was
yeah. I hated it.
nasty at first. I
I
ain't
thought it
gonna
was.
lie. I thought
Yeah,
it
no,
was
I'm right there
super
with you.
nasty at first, bro.
Yeah,
But bro, I'm proved wrong. So
yeah,
Goff is especially after last season, man. Like they kind of got the juice again. Like Detroit football is back to where it was
yeah,
like a long time ago.
yeah.
Because we haven't even really seen a good Lions team like
In
since
my
last
life,
year. Yeah, in our whole life, bro.
prior to
So
that, yeah,
that's why I'm like they gonna let him. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna embrace the bumps with
yeah,
Dan Campbell. I think because he's brought it back. But as a coach, I like him. I think he does some risky things, which I mean, it's just tough. It's kind of like the Eagles, where it's like, are you mad at the play call? Are you mad at the drop? Are you mad at the defense? Are you
yeah,
mad at the quarterback? Like, who are we really gonna blame? I don't think you could blame everybody, but
yeah.
yeah, I like Dan Campbell, bro. Like I think that I think he has established a good culture over there, and it's working. I don't know if necessarily I would want him to coach the Eagles, but
No.
yeah, but I
Look.
love him for Detroit, so it's like I rock with him,
Oh,
and I like his personality and his character. So I would,
yeah.
yeah, I think he's a cool dude. I rock
Well, that's what I was going to say too. Is like Dan Campbell seems like he is like Detroit. Like,
with him. Yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
seems like he is the heart and soul of the, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
of the
like he
city
is
right now. It
perfect for
started
that
with him.
city.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and like, look, I also love Dan Campbell. Like, I think he's one of the he's a coach where it's like I feel like I'd want to be a player for him because I feel
Yeah,
like he's one of them dudes you feel like he gonna run through a wall. Like he might get out there and make a tackle for me if I need
yeah,
him to.
yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I
You
mean?
know he got your
So
back, like,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
always, you
exactly.
know what I'm saying. When you got a coach like that, that goes a long way in the locker room and amongst the players. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I hope he gets the coaching stuff right. Obviously, like he's still new. You know, I think this is what his second or third year
yeah, I think it's his
as
third.
a head coach. So I mean, it's like there's going to be the bumps, like you said, and I hope he starts kind of getting that stuff down because yeah, I think he is. I think he's perfect for that city. But I also think if with Detroit now, they got expectations where, like you said, if
That's
they
where
have
it gets tough.
if you have a
Now
tough
you
season,
establish the win. Yeah, you know what it's like to
yeah,
win. So when if it starts trending down, it's like, well, yeah, it's tough. That's
yeah,
tough to turn a program, turn a whole organization
yeah.
around.
And that's why I said because I mean we've talked about it with the Eagles and Sirianni is like I'm more of a like in my perspective I'm like I'd rather be early off like a coach or like a quarterback than
Mm-hmm.
like give them that one extra season. And so
Yeah,
that's why I'm like if it was
yeah,
me and they
you
had a
are.
tough year, I'd be like if there's somebody out there who I think could like get us to that next level,
Yeah,
I'd just make the move.
you just go
But
ahead and move on.
yeah, but but yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I hope they do well because I do like Dan Campbell, his character, everything. Like I said, I'd want to play for him, but
Right.
as a
Are you
GM, that's where
worried
you get
about the
that.
Lions?
You said what?
Are you worried about the Lions?
Uh, so it's tough because like I wouldn't say I'm worried about him, but I also didn't pick him to win the division.
Okay.
Like I thought they were going to be in that wild card area, so I had him at probably like 10 wins, 11 wins, but
Okay. Yeah, I
which
feel
which
that.
I think is like if they do that, as long as there's not like some like catastrophic failure in the playoffs, I think you
Yeah.
know he's safe. But yeah, where do you think kind of where do you have the Lions at?
I'd probably put them right around there, bro. I could see
Yeah,
them having like a 11-win season, having some very strong moments throughout the year, having some bad moments throughout the year, but in the playoffs, I could see them being a tough team to beat, and I could see them, making their way through the playoffs if they start towards the end of the season. If they start clicking
yeah,
and they start getting in rhythm, that's a team that would be tough to go play against in the playoffs.
yeah. No, I mean because they got when you just look at they squad, man, their O line is solid. Which with Jared Goff,
Mhm.
you gotta have a solid O line.
Yeah,
So
no, they got a squad, bro. Like
they got receivers. The defense is good. Like Aiden Hutchinson, like coming out, I thought that was a bad pick. I'm gonna be honest.
really,
Yeah, I didn't like him
yeah,
coming out.
that was. I didn't think it was a bad pick, but I was like, I don't know, it's hit or miss. Like he's gonna be really
Yeah,
good, or he's just gonna be average.
yeah, and he proved me
That boy
wrong.
is
So
really good.
yeah, he's nice.
Yeah,
So
that boy nice. I
yeah,
rock with him. He
so
gonna be
but
good
yeah,
for
we'll
our
see.
team. Like he's
Yeah,
gonna be one of the two best youngins is on defense. Like out of everybody, I would say it's him and Micah. Better than all the
yeah,
young
nah,
corners, better than all the young D linemen, safeties. Them two is probably the best
yeah.
young guys on
I think
defense.
they're the. I would say, yeah, because obviously you got Watt still in there. Like TJ is obviously still an absolute monster, but getting
Yeah.
older. Miles Garrett, monster, but he getting older. So I think, yeah, like they're those next two that are kind of like they're up.
They could dominate. Yeah, they could dominate
Yeah,
for a while, right? For a
yeah.
minute in the league. They stay healthy.
So
Them boys is good.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with them. But moving to obviously next one, big game, Bengals Chiefs. Obviously, Chiefs
Man.
going for the three-peat. Bengals trying to get right after they had that bad loss against the Pats week 1, and just kind of
Man.
their every year struggles coming into the year, which is just kind of weird to me. But
Yeah.
I mean, we got a good game, man. It's always tough with like ending the game like with the I don't know if you watched that
Oh
Chiefs
yeah.
Bengals
Yeah.
game,
Oh
but
yeah. I was
ending the
watching
game on a PI, it's or like didn't end the game, but like you know
Yeah.
it's always tough
It's,
with that. But it's like it's one of those things where it's like it was clearly a PI, and it's like you just got to be like make him go make the catch. But it's
yeah,
always
man.
tough to see it end that way.
It is. I hate seeing that.
But yeah, and so but obviously we'll start on the Chiefs side because obviously they're going for the three-peat, 2-0, but two games that like Ravens, they were a toe away from losing in the back of the end
Yeah.
zone to likely in a 2-point conversion. And then the Bengals, man, had them on the ropes and took I think it was a 60-yard field goal for the win on that one,
Man.
something like that.
The
So, or
Chiefs
50-yard
find
field
a
goal.
way, bro.
So, I mean, but also you lose Pacheco because he got broken tibia, I think, tibia or
Man, I
fibula,
don't know
the
that. I didn't
smaller
know that.
one. Yeah, he's not out the whole year. I know that fibula, I think, is the smaller one.
Yeah, yeah, the fibula, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got a broken fibula. He's out for a little while. So like their run game, like they got old boy Steele with the long hair.
I just seen him on the fantasy free agents, and I was like, he was like one of the highest projected running backs. I'm
Yeah,
like, who is this?
yeah, they
Yeah, I
got him, and
did
then they
see
brought in
that.
Kareem Hunt. So it's like I think
Yeah, man.
obviously they were leaning heavy into the run. Pacheco's a great back. Like he was
Mhm.
out there eating on the Bengals, and so here's my kind of thoughts with it, and tell me what you think about it and how it kind of impacts them moving forward. So
Mhm.
I think with Pacheco out, right? Obviously, you got Steele there. I'm gonna just be real. White running backs, I'm a little hesitant to trust you with the ball very many times,
Uh-huh.
unless you Christian McCaffrey. It's just
Yeah, you get a little weary when it comes to that.
yeah, it's not the 50s, So I'm like, I just don't know
Yeah,
about it. But
yeah. There's not too many left, man.
yeah. So and I'm gonna be honest with you. When they brought him in the game against the Bengals for a few run plays, I thought he was a fullback.
Uh,
Like, I was like, he leading the way for the blocks. But no. So I think with what this is gonna force them to do is kind of they're gonna have to sling it.
oh yeah.
And we've been kind of waiting because they went and got Hollywood. Obviously, we hadn't seen him, but they went and
Mhm.
got what's his name out the draft.
Xavier
Uh,
Worthy.
yeah, Xavier Worthy, who we're like, man, that could really bring the top off.
And he
Kelsey
looking
hadn't been
good.
playing well. Yeah, and then you got Rashid Rice, who looks like he's just going to be. He's
Yeah.
almost like he kind of reminds me of like that Ayuk kind of. He
Yeah.
takes those 10-yard catches for 30 or 40, and
Yeah.
so I think this is going to force them to kind of get back to like early Mahomes, where they were just
They're gonna
gunning
have
it
to
down the
yeah.
field,
They're gonna have
and
to spread it
so
around.
yeah, and so I think that Mahomes kind of getting in that kind of rhythm, especially if it's working. Obviously, if it's not working, then Chiefs might have a problem. But
Yeah.
if that's working, once you bring Pacheco back in, because I think he's supposed to be out like 6 weeks, so you bring him back in for the last half of the season. Like, if you got that passing game going crazy, and then you add him back in, I mean, that would look scary to me. Because
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, you know what? Like they're pulling these wins out, but they look beatable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like,
For
what's your
sure.
thoughts on them moving forward?
Man, I agree. They're gonna have to put that ball in the air, and they're comfortable doing it. So I see it working well. Like I don't see them taking a step back
Mm-hmm.
once they put the ball out there. I think establishing a run game is going to be a big thing. So I think that they could take some losses
Yeah.
if Kelsey doesn't really get going, and like if I'm who they got this weekend. They playing
They
on
got
Monday or
Atlanta
they playing Sunday night, huh?
Sunday night with Atlanta. Yeah,
If I'm Atlanta, I'm feeling kind of good because they got some DBs. They got some
yeah,
safeties over there, bro. So I think like I would feel good if I was Atlanta. Not not good like we gonna win, but good like
like
we
we got
can
a
make
shot.
some plays. Yeah, we can do some things. We got a shot. Cause I mean, if you don't got no run game, and my boy Steele, if he's not really, you know what I'm saying, moving the chains,
Yeah, well, yeah.
that
If you
just
could just devote everything to pass,
come on, man. You know
yeah,
you gonna get some opportunities there. So
yeah,
I mean, but
and
Mahomes is the best. So
yeah,
I think that they really got to get Kelsey involved. If Kelsey gets
yeah,
going again, then I'm not worried about them at all. I
yeah.
think Kareem Hunt could still make an impact. I think
Okay,
I think because I just think that their scheme they work, they know how to scheme so well. They know how to plan, bro. So I think if they, I mean, as long as Kareem is healthy and in shape and actually ready to,
can go.
yeah, can go and kind of be the number one back and get majority of the carries. I think that they could. I think they can still. If he's out 6 weeks and they're 2-0 right now, they might be 6-2. I can
Yeah, and look,
see I can see him being 7-1. Just finding it might all be tough, kind of sloppy wins, and that won't matter when
yeah,
um, playoffs come around. As long as you can, man, win after win after win, that makes a big difference every week. So
yeah.
I think
Well,
I think they I think they're gonna beat the Falcons.
yeah, and I think like kind of to your point with the ugly wins, because I know we've had this conversation with the Eagles last year, where it's like,
Yeah,
piling up these ugly wins, and I'm usually very much against it. Like, I think a few good like ugly wins is really good for you because you got to know how to win ugly.
yeah,
But if you
yeah, yeah.
piling them up, the only exception to that I've seen is the Chiefs, because last year that's all they did was ugly wins, ugly wins.
Man, the whole season, bro, literally
Yeah,
through the playoffs
yep.
and the Super Bowl.
But they showed they could do it. You know what I
They
mean?
can
Like, if
do
you
it.
show me you could do it, then all right, whatever you got to
Yeah.
do then.
I mean, it's like the Patriots, bro. It's
Yeah.
like they don't care if they beat you 9-6.
No.
They're com- they're
Yep.
they're, they're embracing that. Like they will go
Yep.
out there and really and play that game to beat you
Yep.
like that. So, I mean, you can't fault them for what I'm saying being good at winning football games. However, it gets
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
man,
so,
I think they're gonna be all right.
yeah, I do too. And like I said, especially if that pass game gets going, man, Kelsey gets going, it's gonna be tough
We
seeing them
already
in the
know what that
playoffs.
looks like.
Yeah, it's gonna be
We
tough.
already know
So,
what that looks like, bro. It'll go right back to there. He got 6 catches for 120 and 2 touchdowns, man.
and I
And
think this is the game
now
where
they
he could
winning
do it.
34-14, 34-21. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is the game where he could have a big game because I think like they're looking at it like, okay, we kind of gotta get this going, and we're gonna have to
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
And so I think Kelsey, I think he has a
This
big
is his
game,
game.
but
Yeah, this is his game
yeah,
right now.
absolutely. All right, so 2-0 to 0-2, man, Bengals. So
Tough
I can't
break.
explain. I can't explain how they are just bad at the beginning of every year. Like it don't make
Yeah,
sense to
it's
me.
like, man, this is they got to get over this, bro. They got to stop doing that.
Yeah, I think the stat I saw was they're like since Joe Burrow has come, they've got one win in like the first 2 weeks of every like so they're like one in like 9 or something like that, or 1 in 7, whatever it is. They got one win since he's been a starter within week twos. And
Bro,
so
I
I'm
ain't
like,
gonna lie. I can understand that because man, once I got to college, bro, my
yeah,
first
okay.
meet every year, the first meet, bro, terrible. No
Really?
matter
Okay.
what, no matter where we at, no matter how good practice is going, bro. For some reason, it may have been just a mental like thing in my mind that I just know about myself. So you
Yeah.
know how that works, bro. I'm talking about first meet of the year. it might be I might jump 6'8", I might jump 6'10", and then the next meet, next week I'm 7'4", 7'5", winning. I'm just like, man, why can't I do this in the first meet? Like,
Yeah. No, that's kind of wild because, like,
I understand it.
okay, so yeah, so like, so this, I know you kind of said like maybe it's meant. Do you have kind of like, or is it just like I got no clue? Like, couldn't tell you why. It's just what happens. Like, or do you kind of have
Nah,
maybe an idea? Is it just like you kind of got to get in rhythm with it, or
you gotta get in rhythm, bro. I think there are certain athletes like that, like especially how
Mhm.
the preseason goes, where it's like you're not really getting no real reps. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like when the Jets played Week 1, I could definitely understand why they look like that. You
yeah,
don't get no reps with the ones, you know what I'm saying, with your actual unit going out there. So, and bro, man, the defense is fired up.
yeah,
First couple games of the season, like they trying to go, they trying to go do
yeah,
something. I think for me personally, when I was in college, like it was like a mental note that I just knew about myself. Like in every first meet of the year, I'm like, nah, this gonna be the one. Like I'm about to go do something, and then I don't, and I'm just like, all right, bro. At this point, the first time, the second time, I'm pissed, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm not worried, bro. Like this is
yeah.
this, this is,
We've been here.
we've been
Well,
here, we did this. Then you prove it to yourself the next time, and then it's like, all right, that didn't even matter.
yeah, and I
In week
mean,
10, it's not even gonna matter for the Bengals, bro. I'm not worried about Joe Burrow. I'm more worried about Jamar Chase.
man, and so that was, and like that's kind of obviously I attribute the slow start where Jamar held out the whole offseason. So like,
Exactly.
yeah, no reps with with Joe and Jamar. And then also I think it's just like you said, now too, it's now Jamar hasn't been paid. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I've always been a person where, and tell me how you think about it, but me personally, if I was, especially in the NFL, but like any sport, bro, if I don't have a contract and I know I'm gonna get one, bro, don't let me have a stubbed toe,
Oh
a
yeah,
hangnail, bro. Nah, I
yeah.
can't go this week, coach.
You're not gonna see me out there.
Nah, can't go this week. So I think,
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of what we see with T Higgins right now. Like T Higgins, I think he's not gonna go until he's like healthy.
yeah, yeah.
And
They
so it's
got they
like,
got they got some things on their hands that they gotta go ahead and get right.
yeah, man. And I think week one, like with them was, they had the Pats lose that one. I think that part of that is like what you said, defense is just amped up. I also think part of
Yeah,
it is too, they looking at like, okay, we got the Pats. Like coming into the year, everybody knew the Pats was gonna be trash. And so it's
you
like,
can definitely overlook the Pats.
yeah, got that look ahead game to Kansas City. And
Yeah,
where like they played well, like the defense played well, offense looked good, like, but now it's like week 3 you got Washington, and so now I'm like, okay, you had the look over the past week 1, week 2 you lose like a tough game where you played well, like,
mm-hmm.
are we going to see a little letdown against the Commanders where it's like they might find themselves in a dogfight with that one, or you think they just going to come out and just run it up?
They gotta run it up, bro. I
Yeah,
think
I think they
because
got to, but I don't know if they
going
will.
off how I used to be, bro. Once you get that out the way, it's like, all right, now it's like
Yeah, like
now
let's lock in.
let's lock in. Let's go ahead and
Yeah,
like, the Commanders are pretty bad. So
yeah,
I love Jaden Daniels,
me too.
but they're just not there yet to really be one of those teams that like can go to the playoffs. I don't think they're there yet. I think that the Bengals go out there and they put it all together this week. Jamar might have a huge game and go for
Hmm.
like 2 tubs, 100 something. Burrow, like I think it'll click this week, bro.
Okay.
I think this is the week it'll click because one, it kind of needs to, and
Yeah,
two, this is a good game for it to click to. This is not really it. The game doesn't really matter too much, but then you
yeah,
got an opponent that like really isn't on the level. They're not
Yeah,
as good as the Bengals. They can go out there and put some points on the board and go out there and get a convincing W. I think that's what's going to happen with Cincinnati.
yeah. And I mean, thankfully for Cincinnati, like obviously they had the Burrow injury last year, so this year they got that last place schedule. So like
Yeah,
they can really string together some wins,
for
but
sure.
they got to come out and show the Commanders and everybody like, oh no, we're still a really good team. So I
Yeah.
hope they
On
do
the
put it
other
on them,
hand, if they don't, then it's
man.
concerning. Now
Yeah.
it starts to get concerned. I'm not concerned yet with the Bengals. They could have won. They could have easily won last week,
Oh yeah, but
and
they
then
lose this
everybody
one.
would have been like, okay, all right,
Yeah,
they good, yeah. So on the other hand, bro, if they don't put it together, if it's a sloppy win and it's a dog fight, or if it's an L, yeah, it's not time to panic, but it's
but
definitely that heat is getting, yeah, it's getting turned on.
yeah, and I think too with that one, it's just like I think what'll start to happen too is because if they go out and like they lose, or even if like they're in a dogfight, Jamar doesn't have a good game. You already know them reporters coming in like, "Hey,
Oh, for
so
sure.
Jamar, what's going on with the contract?"
Man,
And
they
like
don't
that
need,
just,
yeah, they need to just go out there and get this big dub, so I don't even have to worry about that.
yeah. So
I don't want Jamar to have to answer those questions after the game, man.
man, nah. So all right. So speaking of big dubs, Falcons, Eagles, man.
Man,
So let's talk about it, bro. So I want to start. You know why? I want to start with the Falcons because we're gonna spend some time on the Eagles. Let's just get the Falcons out the way.
yeah,
So
for sure.
obviously, Falcons, man, like struggling in week one, struggled all game last
Mm-hmm.
week until that final drive, man. I think personally, I had the Falcons winning the division. I think they got a ton of talent, especially on offense,
They
man. You got
really
Drake
do.
London,
They
Pitts,
really do got some.
Moore, like, and then Kirk. I'm like, Kirk is always a solid quarterback, right? Like he gonna get you wins. And
For
so,
sure. Yeah, he knows how to win.
so yeah, so like outlook on the Falcons, I have them winning the division. I don't know anymore with them Bucks looking so good, but I think they're gonna be a solid team. Like they're gonna be in that playoff picture. Yeah, but what you think about the Falcons?
Man, so my best friend loves the Falcons, bro. So we was that was
So you
tough, bro.
that was war.
Um, I always rocked with the Falcons though. I love Kirk Cousins. Like I just think he's tough. Like I don't think he's the best, but I rock with him. I love Drake London, SC. I really
Yep.
love Bijan. He runs so
Bijan,
he
yeah.
does so much. He just don't score. But that boy,
Yeah.
that boy will run for 120 yards, no
No
touchdown.
tuds.
But I think man, I love the coach. I think that the
Yep.
defense is gonna. I think the defense has a chance to really be like really good.
Yeah.
Their defense played well, really
Yeah.
well.
No, I played real well.
Kirk Cousins and the offense getting together, I think they'll be choppy, bumpy road for him, bro. Like I could see it going, just going up and down. Like
Hmm.
last week, they should have lost.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like that really shouldn't even have happened, unfortunately for us.
No,
But
absolutely.
now they go up against Chiefs, so if they could easily be 1-3, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But man, I I think that in terms of their division, I don't know about winning the division, man. I think the Bucks and the Saints are better than the Falcons right now. But what we saw Kirk Cousins do on that last drive was just and we was I mean the Eagles that was just bad ball, but
Yeah. Well,
it's
like,
hard
so
for me
let's
to kind
hop
of give
into it.
them a grade, bro, because it shouldn't really have happened. So I'm
Yeah, I
like,
know.
it's easy to pick apart a defense like what we threw out there on the last drive. Anybody
Yep.
could go hit those passes, bro. So I mean, I think that they'll be better than they have been in previous years, but I don't think they take that leap yet.
Okay. Okay, see, so
Yeah, that's
yeah,
how I
so
feel about the Falcons. I
I
like
see.
them
I said
too.
I like him. I thought we see the leap this year. So I mean, we'll see. But
Mhm.
man, we got to get to it, man. Eagles, man.
Man,
So
we got to get
you
into
know
it,
what?
bro.
So we'll start with the defense. I'm gonna switch up a little bit. We're gonna start with the defense. So one, I hate what Fangio did as far as like playing that like
Yeah,
prevent defense.
come
Yeah,
on,
man.
man.
Like I hate when any team does it because I feel like every time I see teams run that defense at end of games, they lose, and because
Bro,
teams do it like that. It's pitch and catch for 15, 20 yards, and they just chunk you down the field.
we didn't need to do nothing different.
No, we stopped them all game,
Yeah,
run the
we,
same defense, man. Yeah,
man.
I would almost be. You know what? Like this is my thoughts. I would almost rather lose playing a normal defense and like you just get beat. I would
Me
almost
too,
rather have seen them score that way.
bro. I'd rather lose on an explosive play on a bomb, like just
Yep.
somebody just got dogged, and not like how Drake London caught that touchdown, bro.
Yeah.
Not like that. Like you got shook and beat deep, and it's just
Yeah.
like game winner. Long, yeah, I would rather that, bro, because that's to me that's gonna take. It's harder, man. It's so easy to pick apart that like loose zone, bro, where it's just
Yeah.
and keep everything in front of you. That's give like as a former quarterback, like give that to me, bro. Like I would take exactly what you give me.
Yeah.
And
Please play me like that.
bro, they went down there on 6 plays or something. Man, that had me high, bro. I did not
Yeah.
like that coming out playing all deep, man. Yeah, that wasn't it, bro.
Nah, I feel you because that was me. I'm sitting there like, man, just play. They ain't scored on us all game. Like, play that same defense. Let's just
Play
roll
that
with it.
defense, man. We came out in the second half and started putting it together, bro. Saquon on that last drive was, man,
Yeah.
he's gonna be he's good, bro.
Man, love it. So I think I told you, I told probably everybody that I was not a fan of them bringing in
Yeah,
Saquon.
I remember, and we had that talk, and
Yeah.
I was like, dang,
Yeah.
bro, I
So you
thought
know
you
what? Hey, I said it last week, or yeah, I think it was last week. I said I've never been so happy to be wrong about anything.
nah,
Like Saquon is eating.
that boy balling.
Yeah. So,
Like,
but
man.
let's talk about it, man.
So, okay,
So,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick.
oh, okay.
Do you put this? Do you put that L? Is it the defense? Is it the play call? Is it Saquon? Is it Hurts? Who do you feel like?
So,
Not to put it on, not to put the loss on one person,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying within that last 50 seconds of the game.
yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? Where do you fall with that?
yeah. So it's crazy because I was going to ask you the same thing. So I'll say kind of what I'm
Okay.
thinking, and then you let me know. Because obviously, everybody you mentioned, I think like there's blame to go around for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm gonna get Saquon out the way, like bro, just catch the ball, like catch the ball,
Yeah,
whatever.
man.
But I give most of the blame to Sirianni. And so, like, I'll kind of break down, and you already know I'm not a
I
fan of
already
Sirianni,
know how you feel about
but
him too.
I'm gonna break down why. So obviously, Saquon, you get a little piece because, like, bro, you catch the ball, it's game over anyways. But I also look at it like with the play call, Sirianni with the play call, he shouldn't even have to catch that ball. You've been running it right down their throat all game for 5-6 yards minimum. And I know they stack in the box. I know that to me, that's like trying to like overthink it, right? Like you like,
Yeah.
oh, I know they're going to be ready for the run. But so, and then I'll get more into that when I talk about Sirianni. Jalen, I give him a little blame because obviously like bad pick at the end. Like you can't throw that. Like you're trying to get downfield, you can't throw that. So, but you know, again, are we in that position if Sirianni makes the right call to me? The defense we talked about, the prevent defense, not a fan of it. But should they even have been out on the field? So majority of the blame to me is Sirianni, and here's why. So when I look at it, first of all, I don't even mind if you do that play that you did to Saquon on fourth down.
Mm-hmm.
But bro. My thing is like run the ball on third because it's a 3rd and 3. You run the ball even if they get stopped, even if you get hit in the backfield, whatever. Like at the minimum, 40 seconds is coming off the clock because Atlanta has no timeouts. So instead of giving them a minute 50 or whatever they had, minute 45, like it's a minute going into 4th down. Yeah. And then if you want to like, go for that shot to same, you could use the same play you did to Saquon on that one because then you miss it. Even if you run it, you miss it. Like clock is stopped there, but they're gonna have about 50 seconds, right? And so rather than a minute and 50 seconds. Also, my thing with it is, I think a team is less dangerous down 3 than they are down 6. Because down 6, you got to get a touchdown. Yeah. Like there ain't no, like, so my thoughts are is, say you go for it, you run it on 3rd, don't get it. You could throw that same pass to Saquon 4th, say he drops it again. Now you got Atlanta at the 5-yard line, got to go 95 to beat you, or 60 to maybe have a field goal to tie it. Mm-hmm. And so I look at it as like, because we scored there, they got to go 70 because you get the touchback, right? They go 70 to beat us. If they just go for it, you give them a minute less, and they got to drive the whole field, or at least the same amount they would have had to beat you, but just to tie it now. And I think Atlanta probably plays for the tie because it's like, okay, we're not going to go 95 in a minute and a half. Like, let's get in the field goal range, see what happens.
Right.
So I think it becomes the strategy for Atlanta is less aggressive, which I'd rather, take a shot in overtime because you've been stopping them all game. Like that would be my preference. And so I had already given Sirianni a big chunk of the blame. But then I don't know if you heard his press conference after.
I didn't.
Okay, bro. So I'm gonna tell you. So he basically he went into it and was saying, I had conviction in the play when we were in it, just from like he said because of what had happened last week in Green Bay. He's like, I kind of took that experience, and the way he said it, he goes, obviously it's a little different because there's a little less time in that game, and but it's still 4th and 3, and basically ices it. And so my thing is like, okay, first of all, Green Bay was 20 seconds left, bro. Like the difference between 20 seconds and almost 2 minutes. So like that's to me is one. But then he came out and was like, yeah, but after thinking about it and running the numbers of like, oh, and also on my bad, with Green Bay, we're up 2 points. So like if you don't get that 4th there, a field goal wins it for Green Bay. As opposed to like going up 5, now they got to score.
Yeah.
And so like totally different situations to me. And for him to be like, yeah, like because of that, that's why I did this. It's like, that's totally different. If that's how you're looking at coaching, then I feel like you're proving me right about how I feel about you.
Yeah, you've been going in on Nick.
Yeah, and so there's that, and then there's the fact that like he doubled down on it afterwards, and he was like, yeah, afterwards going through it, and we did the numbers on teams that were down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and like it said to go for the field goal. And I'm like, the difference of being up 1 or 2 and being up 3 to 5 is like you can't just clump all that in. Like that doesn't make sense. And so tough. Yeah, with that, that's why I'm like, okay, so now you did that. You already had a big chunk of the blame, but now when you said all this, I'm throwing 90% on you now. Because, like, your reasoning is off. So, okay, so, but now tell me what you think about it.
That's funny, bro, because we oftentimes have different thoughts on the coach, bro. So, so the reason I agree with you that it would have been a better call to just run the route for sure. Yeah. Get into a 4th and 1, less tush push. Get into even if it's a 4th and 4, like I can live with that for sure. The only reason I'm okay with the call is because it worked.
It was wide open.
It was open. And it was, like Saquon never drops that. I haven't seen it. He has some issues with dropping the rock at times.
But that's my thing, man.
But I'm confident. I'm fully confident in his ability as a receiver coming out the backfield. So I don't want to say I blame Saquon for the loss. I can't say that. But I think that I put that play, I do put that one on Saquon. Because he's going to catch that the next 9 times out of 10.
No, I get that. But and real quick, I'm going to just throw something in real quick, because this is also, again, this is why I go to Sirianni, is because I look at it as a coach. Your job is to like minimize risks for players, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, if I know my running back is more likely to drop a ball, like, don't put him in the situation.
They could fumble it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so that's where I'm like, it's just, again, like, I go back to Sirianni with it. I totally agree with you, but that's where I'm like, Saquon, I mean, like, he has some drops. He don't fumble too often. But sorry, I just wanted to kind of throw that in though. But go ahead.
I can't be mad at that, bro, because I would have rather let's just run the rock right there. Let's just do what we was doing the whole way down the field. I mean, if you ask me, bro, I think he gets that first down. To be honest, like
he might walk it in.
I was gonna say he might score on that thing. Like I'm not mad at that. So I mean, and if we are gonna put it in the air, bro, I do think that there's just a safer play call. But I keep going back to the fact that it was wide.
It was wide open. It was wide open.
So it's like that for me. That's where it's like that's tough, bro. Because if he catches it, it's like
the conversation doesn't happen.
Great
call.
Yeah,
conversation doesn't happen.
When he dropped it, it's like, why would you even? You know what I'm saying? It's Pete Carroll. Why would you throw it when you got beast mode right there, man? So
yeah,
man, that's tough. I see where you coming from, bro. I agree with you. To me, it's just, man, you gotta catch it no matter what, bro.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta come up with that.
Yeah, man.
But
moving forward,
we'll see, man.
We probably not going. We probably going to scrap that play. We probably not going to run that in crunch time.
Yeah, no, man. I'm telling you, and you know what I'm interested to see now is if we do end up in a situation similar to this again. I want to see what his play calls.
It might happen on Sunday.
You gonna hand that thing right off?
Give it right to him. Come on now. But
oh man.
With that being said, though, I do gotta say, like, man, Saquon is just a beast, though, bro. So
man, monster. I mean,
he's a
look,
monster, bro. I would not rather have nobody else. I don't even want to say except, bro. I love Saquon being on the Eagles, bro. I mean everything about it. So
yeah, the only person I would say, yeah, no, I love Saquon. Like I said, I was a little low on him coming in. At this point, I'm like, and even, you know, I might even take Saquon over the other guy who I was thinking was CMC, but CMC hurt.
They're so similar, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Similar.
So yeah, I think he's thriving in offense. I think, you know, moving forward, the biggest thing with the Eagles for me is like, and like I said it last week after week 1, Jalen with the turnovers, man. He need to cut them back down. And then, but if he can cut those back down, and then that defense can, you know, stay kind of, because they look good most of the time. Atlanta's tough for me though, because I'm like, is it just like Atlanta's trying to figure it out, and that's why they look bad, or was the defense solid, and that's why they look bad? So, so the defense is still kind of a question mark for me. But if the defense is solid, like we brought in, what's his name, who is just who's been a monster, Bond or whatever. Bond, yeah.
Man, he has been a beast.
A monster.
Yeah.
A monster.
Man. And I
And
do
then
got to
the
highlight though, bro. That fourth down stop by CJ.
man, look, CJ, man, that was because and like anytime a corner gets in there and does something like that against like bro, Bijan is he not easy
Bro,
to tackle, bro.
no, he's hard to tackle. He
Yeah, so
makes a
anytime a
lot of people
corner,
miss.
yeah, bro, and as a corner, like, bro, I say it all the time. Like, if I was in the NFL, or not even let's say NFL, if I was in football, bro, I would play corner because I'm like, bro, I would never hit nobody.
Yeah,
I would be I'd be a Sante Samuel, bro. I'm going for picks.
exactly.
Outside of that, bro, I might give you a little push out of bounds. I'm
Yeah,
not dropping down to tackle you, bro.
nah, I
so,
already know. Yeah,
so yeah, no.
not getting in there.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that was a huge stop. So we'll see. I mean, I think those are like I said, those are two things. I think if we can shore those things up, if the defense can just be like, I think middle of the pack, and Jalen can
Yeah,
kind of like just bring the turnovers down. I'm not even saying get back to like 2 years ago where it was like he had like seemed like one turnover all year, but like even if you just like get back to like just not as many. Like if he could just
yeah.
cut it down a little bit, bro, I think it's going to be hard to stop us.
Man, we need AJ, bro.
Man, facts, facts.
We
So
need AJ. He really completes the offense for us.
yeah,
I love Devontae Smith, bro.
bro, same. But I
But
think
we need our guy.
no, absolutely. I think we need like, but that's also my thing too. Is like no, we gonna feel bad for us, right? Because
Yeah,
like, bro, when you look at it, it's like I think talent wise, like on the team, bro, I think it's the Niners and the Eagles. Like as far
yeah,
as just talent on the team are far ahead of anybody else. So it's like,
yeah.
I feel like, and this will be a good segue into the next thing we want to talk about. But with both of them, like when Debo goes out for the Niners, like I that's not an excuse, bro. Like or
You're right.
CMC's out, like that's not an excuse.
Right.
You got the super squad over there. Same with the Eagles,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
AJ's
I'm
out, and I
gonna
know
keep you up
AJ
there.
yeah, he's kind of like the glue that like makes everything work. But still, like, bro, with the talent we have, Saquon, Devontae, Jahan, which I'm jury's still out on Jahan, but like first round talent,
Yeah.
like no, you're not gonna feel sorry for us. So I,
Nah, yeah, for sure.
but
For sure.
but yeah, no. So going into it, well, did you have any last thing on the Eagles? I
Nah,
won't
yeah,
change.
that I could keep going, bro,
Okay.
but that's it right there.
Yeah, facts, facts. Yeah,
Yeah,
I could do a whole thing on the
yeah,
Eagles,
we can talk about
but
that for sure.
okay. So we talked about the Niners. So let's talk about just like some of the kind of some more surprising stuff we saw last week, which starting off Vikings Niners, man. Vikings, look, Sam Darnold coming in and he
That
putting
boy
it on
Sam,
these teams, bro.
come on, man. That boy Sam is looking good, and I think that's just you gotta be in the right fit. You gotta be
Yeah,
somewhere that that it actually can work, that you feel good, confident, comfortable. I think that's Minnesota for Sam. I think he hasn't really had a chance. I'm sure if he was the guy in San Fran that it would probably look good. It wouldn't take a big drop off. I think Sam is capable for sure. I think with the right guys around him, with the right coaches, bro, I think he could be a quarterback that takes a team to the playoffs. So, man, I rock with Sam, man. That was
yeah,
surprising.
man.
But, man, the Vikings. Brock Purdy said it after the game. Boy, they schemed him up.
Yeah,
They
and
got
so
two.
yeah, no, I mean, look, Sam Darnold, man. I mean, obviously, I think, and this is going to go great with kind of what we're going to talk about the Niners too. But one, I think, like you said, it's all about fit, man. I think one, Sam going from arguably because you go from the Jets, which tire fire, to
Yeah,
Carolina, tire fire. Then you go to the Niners, and it's like, okay, you finally get like with a offensive head coach who's like, Shanahan is like one of those guys in the league, like
yeah.
top 2, 3 coaches in the league on the offensive side. So it's like you kind of get to pick some stuff up. Then you go to O'Connell, who is also an offensive head coach.
Mhm.
Helps that you got like a Justin Jefferson to throw the ball to. Yeah, I think he's like I think he's kind of playing himself because I don't know. I don't think he's going to be long term for the Vikings, obviously, because I got JJ.
Yeah.
But I think somebody. I think a team's going to throw a bag at him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at it, bro. After the season, I think it's not going to look too much different than the numbers might look a little different than Kirk Cousins for the Vikings
Yeah,
because they was throwing the rock a lot. He was, Kirk is a vet, but Sam is a vet as well. But
yeah,
Kirk is an OG.
yeah,
um,
yeah,
Kirk been in that thing, but I mean, bro, I think they'll have a very similar season, a similar amount of wins. I think if they stay healthy, especially if Jet stays healthy, man, and they develop that, like they get like that.
yeah,
I mean, that's all the quarterback really, and they got a lot of receivers, bro. So
yeah,
they got a receiving core over there.
yeah. They got
I
Addison
think
over
that they
there.
could split it around too, and and really
Yeah,
beat some. I mean, they just beat the 49ers, bro. Like
yep.
they probably real confident going into
Oh
this
yeah,
game. You know what I'm saying? Going into the rest of the season, bro. So when a team is confident like that and they got guys that's healthy and the quarterback is in a good place, man, ain't nothing like a 97-yard touchdown to your
man.
boy,
I'm
like
saying,
to the best receiver in
right?
the league. That makes you feel like, hey, this is what I've been missing my whole career.
Facts, facts. And so here's a question I got for you, because let's say they do like you don't see a big drop off from like Darnold to Cousins, and let's say they go out win. Let's say they win 10, 11 games, maybe win the division 12 games. Do you keep Darnold even if you got JJ there?
Absolutely.
You gonna pay him
I would,
though?
absolutely.
Okay,
I
okay.
would. I mean, I'm not the biggest JJ.
Me neither. So I feel you on that.
That's why I would. I mean, yeah, if it was me, I would, bro. But they do have, that's a tough situation to navigate for them. I mean, man,
It's
if I'm
tough.
playing devil's advocate, like if he goes out there and he takes y'all to the playoffs, you gotta rock with him. You gotta let him stay
Yeah,
in there. But it goes also with what Tom Brady was saying, bro. I don't know if you saw it, but he was like, we're forcing these rookies to start week one.
yeah,
So you're stunting the development. You're stunting the growth. Is you expecting them to just go out there and just be who they were in college? And man, like you
yeah,
see Chris Young losing a lot of confidence, bro. You see a lot of these young guys that just, bro. Sam was a first round pick, and he's looking the best he's ever looked right now.
yeah. Well, and like you even look at it like obviously you got guys like CJ, right, where he comes in and it's like cooking right out the gate. But you got
Mm-hmm.
like I mean, you look at Jordan Love, you look at who Jordan Love sat behind like for 3 years. Patrick
3 years,
Mahomes
bro.
sat behind Alex Smith for a year. Like, and it just kind of lets them get integrated into the offense. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it kind of goes back to like the Baker thing, right? Where it's like that second year in the offense where you kind of know the terminology, you kind of know how that offense is going to go. If that can be your first year where it's like your second year in the system, it's
Oh
almost
man, it makes all the
setting you up
difference,
so much
bro.
better for success.
Yeah, bro. Like I heard Hurt say that year that he had the big year with Shane Steichen. He said,
Mm-hmm.
this is the first time since high school that I've ever had the same offensive coordinator for 2 years.
Yeah,
So I mean, bro, college is crazy. College is like
yeah,
you don't know what's gonna happen, bro. Your offensive coordinator might go to your rival school the next year, and
yep,
then the year after that you might have a coach that gets fired, and then the year after that you have a good season. Now you get drafted and you get picked up by the worst team in the league, and the next year you got a whole new coaching staff, and then the year after that it's like, damn, I'm already, you know what I'm saying, my second, third year in here, and boy, I gotta learn at a new offense every single season. So
yeah,
I mean, bro, it's tough. I really agree with what Tom Brady said, bro. Like
yeah. No,
when
I
you look
think
at the guys that Tom Brady, he had to sit. He had to get a year under his belt. A lot of these guys had to get it. I mean, bro, Peyton Manning might have had the worst rookie season I think he set
ever.
the record for picks in a game or
Yeah,
in a season or something like that. And he's the you know what I'm saying? He's arguably the second best quarterback to ever
yeah,
play the game.
yeah.
So
No, I think
you gotta give these guys a chance, man.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, you see it with, I mean, all over the league where guys get that second chance or the third chance. Baker, for instance, where it's like, and you kind of like, you get into a system, you get the place where that, like, almost more so you get out of like
Yeah, you get out of
those
that.
bad organizations into like
Mhm.
a competent organization. And it's like, you see kind of like the flip, like the switch flip.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right. So opposite side of that though, Niners, right? So you lose the game, looks tough. Um, Now going into this next week, you're still down CMC, who it looks like he might be out for a few more weeks. You're
Didn't he
now
get put
down
on IR?
Debo. Yeah, I think he's out like 4 or 6,
I
I think.
think 4. Yeah, man.
4, yeah. But Debo is out now next game.
Mhm.
And Kittle just got ruled out. Or it said it looks like he's not going to play. So first I want to get your thoughts on Purdy.
Okay.
Because I'm not a big Purdy guy. I think Shanahan, I've said it before. I'm like, I feel like you could stick like me, maybe not me, but like like you
Yeah,
could stick a regular
I
old
feel
person
you.
who could sling
Yeah.
like in a Shanahan in the Niners system, and like it'll work. And so, like, what's your thoughts with Purdy?
So I'm not a big Purdy guy either, but I will say that he operates that offense at a very high level,
Yeah.
and to me that's valuable. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like that goes a long way, bro. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to have like you could put Sam Darnold, you could insert him in that offense, and I'm sure it looks similar. You could
Yeah.
insert Bryce Young in that offense. It might look similar. You know what I'm saying? If he has confidence, I think that's how good Shanahan is.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't dislike Purdy. I think that I think it's he's in a system that is just almost like foolproof, bro. Like
Yeah.
they know exactly the situations to put you in. But man, Brock does a really, really good job of operating and being efficient, not making too many mistakes, not making mistakes, very little mistakes. To be
Yeah.
honest, he has his moments, but I mean, if I had to like compare him maybe to a quarterback, I would probably compare him to man. He's kind of uncomparable, bro. Now that I'm
So
thinking about it, it's tough to compare him to anybody.
you know who I kind of thought of, and this is just off top. Like I've never even thought about this before. I feel like he's kind of like like the comparison I always put him in is like, and I don't think he's to the level of this guy. I think this guy's more talented. So I'd say almost like a discount version of like an Alex Smith, where it's like you get him in an offense, like he can run the offense, like
Hmm
he's not going to lose games for you, but he's not going to win games for you.
I mean, yeah, I like that comparison, bro, because I like Alex Smith, and I think
Yeah,
that Alex Smith's career, like what he's done on the field, he did a really good job playing quarterback.
yeah,
And I think up to this point so far, Brock Purdy has done a really good job playing quarterback and being the leader of the offense over there. So if you put him on the if you put him on the Giants, does it look are they a good team? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say no, but
I don't know if I would go there. But if you put him on the Chiefs, what does that look like?
yeah. I think so. Again, like I think coaching matters, especially on the offensive side. So like I think if you put Purdy in with like an Andy Reid, a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, like I think he'll be good.
Right.
But I also don't think you could just like give him like if you gave him like a like a kind of a middle of the pack or like the number 10 kind of coach, I think it could get disastrous. So
Yeah, it could get a little bit tricky, bro. With
yeah,
with that right there. Um,
so
I like Brock. He's not one of my favorite guys. Like he doesn't do anything spectacular to me, but
yeah,
his best part of his game is, bro, to me that I think he knows the offense very well. I think he works really well with the coach, and
yeah,
that can go. That can go a long way depending on where you at and what system
yeah,
you're in,
no.
who the coach
And
is
I
training.
think Shanahan in his press conference, like said it perfect. He was like, we don't ask him to do too much. He's like, I tell him
Yeah,
where the read is. If it's not there, he knows to look for the second one. If that's not there, get the ball out or take a sack. Just don't throw a pick. And it's like,
you got to
if
make it
you're
easy
good at
for him,
those
man.
things, yeah, if you're good at those things and it's all working, like, like there's something to be said about being great in like a role, right? Like
Yep.
as opposed to like you don't have to be like Patrick Mahomes. If you were like the Patrick Mahomes of like your role of like just doing what you need to do, then I mean there's value to that. And it's
There is.
also, it's one of those things why I kind of flipped last week when I was really thinking about it. I'm like, because I used to think, I'm like, okay, once you pay Purdy and you can't pay like Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, CMC, and you start losing some of these weapons, like I think the kind of general consensus or like what a lot of people think is like, okay, you lose that, Purdy might not be as good, and that's when you'll really see he's not good. Whereas I'm like, and I was part of that. I think is because the when week 1 when they were playing the Jets and Jawan Jennings was having like a
Yeah,
monster game. I'm like, you know what? I don't even think it's the pieces. I think it's Shanahan. Like as long as
that's what
him
I
and
think.
Shanahan are there, I think Shanahan will scheme anybody open. It doesn't matter the receiver.
Yeah,
Like we saw with Jordan Mason, running all over everybody, and it's like
man,
that ain't CMC.
man, we don't know who that is, but he's out there. He's out there looking,
Yeah,
and it doesn't drop off. You know what I'm saying? The
yeah,
production in terms of the running back position, it did not drop off
yeah,
working with Jordan
and,
Mason, and
yeah.
that's coaching right there.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see with that one. But moving to the next one, man. Saints Cowboys. And I know we're getting a little long here, so I might try to like condense it some. So
Okay,
just
let's
roll
get
with
it. Let's
me.
get it.
All right. So, but Saints Cowboys. Um, and I don't mean to rush you off because, bro, I could talk with you about all this.
Oh yeah, we do this
But
whenever we see each other. So yeah, you
yeah.
already know,
But let's talk about Saints side, bro. Because one, we got them next week.
man.
So what you think about them, man? Because like Carr and the Saints right now, I was thinking Carr was going to be out of that starting role halfway in the season because I thought the Saints were going to be trash, and he was going to be trash.
I love it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think that they could win the division. I think that it's gonna be between them and the Bucks to me. But
Okay.
um man, I don't know what it is, bro. Alvin Kamara, for some reason, I forget that he is in the league sometimes.
Yeah.
I forget all
Turn back
about
the
him, bro.
clock.
Man, he is a beast, bro. And when Carr is clicking, bro, like he plays good quarterback. So
Yeah.
I think that they like second season, in the system, bro. I think that it
Yep.
makes a big difference when you're going into something familiar. You know what I'm saying? You've
Hmm.
had a season under your belt, especially if it didn't go your way. You know what to fix. So
Yeah.
you have somewhat of an advantage going into the next season because you evaluating the things that you know didn't work or
Yeah.
will work.
No,
So
absolutely.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
I think that they could be really really good this season. I don't know about contender yet, but
Yeah.
the offense is looking good, bro.
Yeah. No, it's looking really good. And like my thing with it was like so with week 1 because I think they played who'd they play week 1? Uh, did they play Carolina week 1?
Yeah, spanked up on
Okay.
Carolina.
Yeah. So after week 1, my kind of thoughts with them was I was like, oh man, I kind of looked at them as like they're one of those teams where like the Patriots week 1, right, where everyone was like, oh man, they might be something. I'm like, give it to week 2, week 3, we gonna see that they not like. I'm thinking they like, it
Yeah,
was just a
yeah,
nice
yeah.
week 1 and you're gonna come back to earth, bro. I'm sold on them now. Like I think that division, which like for the last few years has been
Awful.
garbage. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's a competitive division this year because I think, like I said, I think
yeah.
Atlanta's still gonna be good. You got the Bucks, you got the Saints, like Carolina, whatever. But like,
Man,
you
no,
know,
that's a competitive division, bro. It could go any way. It could go those three teams. I mean, because I could see the Falcons beating the Saints. Then I could see the Saints beating the Bucks, and the Bucks beating the Falcons. So, I mean, you might have it's reminding me of the NFC East a little bit, where it's like
yeah,
all these conference games, man, it's gonna be
tough,
tough wins. Like I don't think it's gonna be a
lots of
any kind
splits.
of blowout. Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah,
lot of splits, a lot of 1-1s. You know what I'm saying? Because man, they
yep,
all looking like they could, especially with Atlanta. If they put it together, they could be special. They could
absolutely.
definitely do some things.
Yeah, and
So
so with the Saints, obviously we playing them next week. How you feel about going into that game with the
I'm a
Eagles?
little nervous. I'm a little
Man,
bit nervous,
look,
bro.
so I think this is going to be the game where we're going to find out about the defense because the Saints have
Yeah,
shown that they can air the ball out and they can score, and so I think for the Eagles this game, especially because like the last few years, it's been our DBs, right? Like that's where
hmm
we've had the biggest issues on defense. Like I think this is really going to show kind of where we are as a defense. If the Saints come out and throw it all over the field on us, I'm gonna be
yeah.
worried.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that'll be the key right there. How to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Get out there and
Air
man.
it out.
What are you looking for from the Eagles this week? What do you
So
want to see to feel good going into the rest of the season?
yeah, so I want to see again. I got to see how the defense does against a team that has shown that they could pass the ball, right? Because like the Dallas defense, like I don't think they're bad. Like I think they're a solid defense.
They're a solid defense, bro, for sure.
So like I need to see how our DBs hold up against their receivers, and then I need to see. I want a clean game from Jalen. I think our game plans have been great. I think we've been really like I think the offense has been running through Saquon,
hmm
and then we're kind of just like off that. That's how everything else is getting going, and that's kind of what Kellen Moore has shown. Like when he's got a good running back, right? It's what he had with Zeke. Like when Zeke
Yeah.
had his good years, they
hmm
got that running game going, and then the passing game kind of just plays off of it, which I think is perfect. So, but if that's how we're going to play, when we do have that passing game going, I need to see a clean game out of Jalen. So
Yeah.
I think running the ball is going to be fine. Like the O line is showing that it's like obviously we miss Kelsey, but
Yeah. You could. Yeah, for
we,
sure.
but like it's still a top O line. So I think the
hmm
running game's still going to be good. So the two things I need to see is just a clean game from Jalen, and I don't even mind if it's like there's a pick on like, you know, defense makes a great play, whatever. I
Right.
just can't have those bad picks, right?
Yeah.
So those are two things: the DBs and Jalen. I just need to like I need to see how those two things because depend on. I think that's going to be the key. Like I think we're going to get 10, 11 wins just because like last year we're just so much more talented
hmm
and we're just going to be we'll be able to overcome bad play. But I
Yeah.
think if we want to make that get back to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, those are going to be the two keys for us. What about you?
Yeah. I agree. I think I want to see the defense get some turnovers, man. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I would like to see from the defense. I think when we had that big year, CJ led the league in picks. I
Picks.
think I think between Slay and Bradbury, they probably had like probably close to like 8 picks together or something like that. So I think that and that was a result of the pass rush. So man,
Yeah.
I would love to see some turnovers. Like I know they're gonna put the ball in the air, so I would love to see specifically some interceptions. That's what I want to see. I would love to leave that game. We got 2 picks,
Yeah.
and I agree with because I know if we get picks, then you know what I'm saying the defense they're balling. The DBs is doing their thing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to see a good, clean game from Jalen, and I think his game last week was good. Like
It
I think
was.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was looking good. That second half was good.
Yep.
He would have had another touchdown. Smitty dropped that pass in the end zone. That was just a good play by the defense. Like there
Yeah.
ain't really nothing you could do about that. But that could have, you know what I'm saying, could have been a touchdown right there. So
Yep.
and to his defense, like I know he's trying to make a play. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I know it's a desperate moment, but yeah, I would rather you just throw that away. Let's live to fight another down.
Yeah. Find another down. Yeah. And I mean, what I did like though from Jalen that I didn't see a lot last year is like bro started running again
Running
that
that ball,
last
man,
week.
he looked good, looked healthy,
Looked real good.
looked effective. You know what I'm saying? He made some guys miss. He got down. He was looking good on the ground. So I think if that part of his game is he's comfortable running the rock. I know he was banged up a lot last season, so he really
Yeah.
couldn't really move around the best. But it looks like, you know what I'm saying, he's
Yep.
still fast. He's still hard to tackle. He still can shake some people. So I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to see him kind of open that up more, protect himself. But
Yep.
yeah, man, I want to see a game with no turnovers on offense for sure.
Yeah. No, and that's how I feel. Flip side of this, the Saints game though, Cowboys, man. We could be quick on this one because
Mm-hmm.
coming into the year, I was like, okay, it's going to be a dogfight in division with the Cowboys again. I'm not actually I'm not too worried about the Cowboys actually this
Yeah,
year.
okay.
How you feel?
I can see that, bro. I think it's probably still going to be a dogfight just because of
Because of the
just because
division.
like the division, bro. We might be in
Yeah.
a dogfight with the Commanders, and
Yeah.
it's just like that's how it is in this division. So I do think that we're a better team. Like I think that
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that they were a lot better last year. I would say.
I agree. And that's
So
my thing.
yeah,
Is like I look
yeah,
at him last year and I'm like, last year I was worried. I was like, I kind of like I wouldn't want to see him in the playoffs. Obviously, like if I don't think either us or the Cowboys look good, and somehow I still would have taken us in the in the playoffs
yeah,
compared to the Cowboys. But
right.
this year, yeah, like you said, I do not think they're as good. So yeah, I'm less worried about them this year.
I'm a little less worried about him too. I think it'll be a dogfight. I think we might get one game that's convincing. We might have a game where we win by like 10, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Where we're
Yeah,
leading, but um, I think the Cowboys got juice though. Like I still think that they gonna have some games this year where they looking good, and I think they're gonna have a couple games like you know what we saw last week where it's just they just
yeah,
get flat out beat.
yeah. I mean, they still got talent. I mean, like dog, Micah is a game record. Like he could wreck a game on his own.
Man,
CD can always have a monster game. And so like they're still gonna win games. They're just like I would love like I'd love to get them in the playoffs if we could. Like
yeah,
I
okay,
think
I
yeah,
feel,
you know
yeah,
what I
I feel
mean.
that. I feel
Like
that.
like
I
there's I
definitely
think out of
feel
all
that.
the teams that we could see in the playoffs, like if I could pick my opponent, they'd probably be the second one I would pick.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at that, bro. I'm there with you on that. I think this
Yeah,
year we got an advantage right now. I would say.
yeah, no, absolutely. And then so just we go. I got you got two more surprises, so I'm gonna lop off half of it because I don't think the Raiders are really a team that is too much to worry about this year.
Mm-hmm.
Unless do you?
Nah,
Okay,
I can't.
so
I'm not too worried about the Raiders this year.
yeah, and I don't think they're too much. I think obviously a great win against the Ravens, but I just want to talk about the Ravens side of it, man, because like
Mm-hmm.
now you 0-2. Obviously, you had the Chiefs loss, which is heartbreak, right? You could have won that one, but then you drop a game that you had won to the
Man,
Raiders, kind of,
man.
and I don't know if you've seen like their schedule moving forward. I went through it, man, and there is two bad teams on that schedule, bro.
Oh man,
Two
they're
bad
not
teams,
keeping the break.
man. So it's like, just like from the games you've watched of them, week one, week two, like, what do you think the kind of the issue is, and do you think like I said, with a tough schedule, how do you see them kind of moving through the year?
Man, it's tough because you borderline win the game against the Chiefs. Like
Yeah,
that's heartbreaking. You lose by literally an inch or 2 inches back in the end zone, and then man with the Raiders, I'm not worried if I'm the Ravens because I would look at it like, yo, if we just tighten up a little bit, we're 2-0.
Yeah.
Like not easily against the Chiefs, but
Hmm.
you know, I think that they can. I think that if they play the Raiders again this weekend, that's a dub. If they
Oh
play the
yeah, I think
Chiefs
they blow
again
them out.
next weekend, they probably win that too. So
Yeah.
I think moving forward though, it's a different dynamic with Derrick Henry on the team, bro. Because he's such a force that you have to
Yeah.
get him really going. And that's kind of different than what they're used to. They've always
Yeah.
had a great running game, and I credit most of that to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Um, and now uh, Derrick Henry kind of takes a lot of that stress off of Lamar's back, but that's just the way that the Ravens. That's who they are. So it's like
Yeah.
you give Mike Vick a great running back. It should look like the Eagles with Mike Vick
Yeah.
and LaShawn McCoy and DJ. Like it could look like that, but man, I just think they just gotta keep playing ball, bro. I'm not too worried about
Yeah.
if they drop this week, then it becomes all right. Now we
Well,
got now let's really reflect on what's going on. They really shouldn't have dropped last week.
yeah.
So
And so that was going to be my question to you. So just because I agree, if I'm the Ravens, I'm basically hanging on the fact that I'm like, we got Lamar Jackson, who's and like in the regular season, he's got like an 85% win percentage. Like we're
yeah,
gonna get
no,
it right.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think they do. It's tough because last year they bring in the new OC because they want more passing attack. Now it looks like this year it's like, okay, we're gonna bring in Derrick Henry. But Derrick Henry to me is like, and I said it last week, Derrick Henry is one of those backs. You got to like feed it to him.
You
Just
gotta
keep
get
giving it to
bro.
him.
Titans was giving him the ball 28 times. Like he
Yeah.
had games where he was running the ball every play. Like they was really getting him involved because they had to.
Yeah.
And when you get, you know what I'm saying, that really impacts the defense, bro. When you got to tackle Derrick Henry six
Man.
times in a row, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might be able to,
Don't nobody want to do that.
to the crib after that.
Yeah.
So it's just a different dynamic that I think is just going to take time to really figure out how this is going to work in the regular season. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I think they'll figure it out.
so this is what I'm gonna give you, right? So out of their next 6 games, Baltimore plays the Cowboys, the Bills, the Bengals, the Bucks, and the Browns.
Mm.
So that's the thing, man. It's like, I mean,
Boy, yeah,
because you got to think, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, you got the Commanders in there, so like, I'm gonna just give them that dub. But outside of the Commanders, man, like, you got the Cowboys who just came off embarrassment. Like, they gonna want to show something. The Bills look good. The Bengals, like, you looking at them in a few weeks where it's like they should have their stride. Like, the Bucks look good. If you get out of that 4-2, I mean, you still 4-4.
Right.
8 weeks in, like that's tough. So I think, to me, that division is just going to be tough regardless.
That's a tough division.
But I can see a world where they might not make the playoffs.
I can see that world too, bro. I think we expected them just to dominate because Derek was on the team.
Yeah.
But, man, that division is really tough, and that's a big adjustment. That's more of an adjustment than like losing DeAndre Swift and getting Saquon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like you really gotta get him involved because he's not somebody that carries the rock like 10 to 15 times a game. He's used to
he's a wear you down. Like that, give it to him 20 times.
He might take his 20th carry to the crib for 40 yards.
Yep.
And I think that they really do gotta pass the rock though.
I mean, they got the pieces, man. You got Isaiah Likely, you got Zay Flowers, you got Mark Andrews. Like,
man, they got
weapons.
guys on the team. They got receivers for sure. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would put that really on the coordinator. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Harbaugh, just to really lock in on what the identity is going to be, like how they gonna really get everybody involved and
Yeah.
get everybody involved efficiently because you gotta give D Henry the ball. Like you gotta let him. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? You gotta let him impact the game. And
Yeah.
but at the same time, that's taking a lot of your natural offense, like which is Lamar Jackson making plays. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
taking that away, so it's like that finding that balance, bruh, of man. I mean, Devontae Adams said he's the best ball carrier in the history of the game.
I
So,
mean,
and
he
I
a
kind of
monster. So
understood. I understood what he was saying, but
yeah.
yeah, man, I'm not worried yet. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. Concerned.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned because you're supposed to win that game. You,
Yeah.
you you start the season off with the Chiefs, and then you win the next game, and you 1-1.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Cool.
cool. That's what you know. What I'm saying probably 90% of America expected that, but
Yeah.
when you drop two, and especially to the
The
Raiders,
Raiders. Yeah.
yeah, they just they're working through this season, and
Yeah.
for the Ravens, this is the season. Like they need this season, so
Yeah.
I think that I believe they'll pull it together. So I'm concerned, but I'm
Okay.
not worried.
Okay. I think I'm kind of falling in line with you. I think I'm a little more concerned about it just because of their schedule is so tough. But
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it's
concerns
gonna
me
be
a little bit more too. I ain't gonna
yeah.
lie, that concerns me a little more because
But again,
man,
like
that's tough. That's tough.
yeah. But again, you got Lamar, man, and Lamar is he's just such a problem on offense.
Man, I trust Lamar. Like, if
So
anybody, bro, you 0-2, like, I think you could really believe in Lamar. You can put your
yeah,
faith in
facts.
Lamar. He'll figure it out. He'll bring it together. So this
Yeah.
this Sunday, that's probably my favorite game that I'm looking forward to is to
Okay.
watch that. Yeah.
Okay. Look ahead. Look ahead. Okay. So so from a quarterback we trust, right, Lamar, to a
Mm-hmm.
quarterback whose team just straight gave up on him, bro. Bryce
Man,
Young, second
feel bad.
season, benched. What you think, man?
I feel bad for Bryce, man, because you can tell his confidence is low. And
Gone.
as a quarterback, bro, once you lose your confidence, man, it's like, and especially getting benched, that's
That's
another
yeah.
blow on top of the L's, on top of what I'm saying, your rookie year really being a bad year. Like I don't think it's his fault, man.
Okay.
I think
So
I like Bryce Young. I
okay,
think
so
that he's a capable quarterback.
okay, so that's what I was going to ask you because, like, so me personally, when admittedly I have not watched too many Carolina games
I'm in the
because they're
same here.
Carolina.
Same here.
So, but the few that I've watched, man, like for me, I just don't see it with Bryce Young, right? Like even coming out the draft, I was a CJ guy. I thought they should have taken CJ first.
Mm,
I don't know if I should be happy that they didn't because now CJ is doing so well with the Texans, and I don't know if he would have had that same success.
right.
But I just never saw it. I kind of thought Bryce Young fell in that typical Alabama quarterback, like when you're playing with the best offensive line you'll ever have, best receivers you've ever had, best running back you'll ever have. It skews it, but I just don't see it. But obviously, I'm not somebody who's played quarterback. You've obviously got some experience around that, playing it,
Mm.
and So, kind of, what do you see with Bryce? Obviously you said you think he could play. So, kind of, what do you see?
I think that when I looked when I looked at Baker Mayfield with Carolina, it looked nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give him another chance. I mean, and where'd he go? He went LA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And he had like a moment in LA where he I think he won a game and you know what I'm saying, or
yeah,
something like that. But I think you see a quarterback lose his confidence, and I don't think Baker completely lost his confidence because I feel like Baker's a confident quarterback, kind of
yeah,
by default. That's just how he is. That's his personality.
yeah,
But when you go to the Bucks and you get, in a whole new system, you got the best talent you've ever been. You know what I'm saying? Around you, you got Godwin,
Yeah.
you got Rashad White, you got Mike Evans is a dog. He's amazing.
Yeah. Monster.
Um, Defense was amazing when they got there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He inherited Tom Brady's team. So
Yeah.
for the most part, like I think that makes the world of a difference, bro. I think Bryce needs to get up out of there. I
So
think
that's what I was going to say.
as quickly
Where
as
do
he can.
so this I got a team that I think, and I got a direct parallel for it. Like I think it's perfect for him. But
Mhm.
if you could take Bryce and put him on a team, who would it be?
Man, if I had to insert Bryce on a team somewhere, bro, one of my initial thoughts would be like maybe the Giants.
Okay.
Um, I could see him maybe Cleveland.
Okay. I actually
Um,
like that one.
yeah. If I had to give you one more, let me think. Man, the Dolphins. If
Bro, so
if
that was mine.
yeah, if it goes there with
With
like
Tua, because Tua's gonna miss some time, so he's gonna get a chance. So I like the Browns one. I didn't think about that one, but Stefanski's a good coach and they got weapons.
they got
But
good weapons.
and I thought about the Giants because I like Neighbors there. I think Neighbors is a monster, but I also
Hmm.
think that O line is just
It's
terrible.
the same team basically to me. Like
Exactly.
we kind of going to the same
So
team, so I didn't really want to say that, but in my
yeah,
mind, it's realistic to me.
yeah. But the Dolphins, that's the one. If I'm the Dolphins, bro, I'm calling them up.
Yeah,
What do I need to get Bryce Young? Because and here's the parallel I had, right? Is another quarterback that we saw confidence gone, shaken, went to
yeah,
a better system. And we talked about him earlier, bro, Sam Darnold. So I don't know if you remember when Sam Darnold was at the Jets against the Patriots. He had that terrible game, and afterwards he was in the press conference talking about like I'm seeing ghosts and everything.
yeah,
Like, and so like when I heard that from Sam Darnold, I'm like, oh, he's cooked.
yeah.
Like, but now we see him go to an offensive-minded head coach who is like one of those Shanahan, McVay tree
Mhm.
guys. I think the same thing, man. You get Bryce Young into Miami with Mike
Yeah, man.
McDaniel, those weapons. And
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
at the end of the day, I mean, obviously it's going to come down to what's Carolina willing to, or like what's going to take to get him. Because I think if they're going to be like, we need a first, like Miami's not going to do it, right? But
Yeah, you can be. Yeah, nobody's gonna do that.
like if you can get a third or a fourth, give that to Carolina for Bryce Young. I think it's
Yeah,
worth a flyer because they got the weapons and Mike McDaniel. I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be something like we've seen Tua, where it's everything is rhythm. It's like 3-step,
man.
get the ball out.
He gets the ball out. I think the fastest in the NFL, bro.
Yeah, so like that was my one was the Dolphins. I think if he was going to have a chance to seed, like I think that's going to be where it's at, and that's where we could see like that Sam Darnold, Baker
Yeah,
Mayfield, like get them in the right situation, and you
yeah.
might see a different quarterback.
I think you will,
So
bro. I think if you get him, especially in Miami, bro, I think it's kind of perfect for him. Like, I
yeah,
think if he was, if they were to make that happen, you would see. I think McDaniels is probably the perfect coach for him. Like, I
yeah,
think he would get him fired up. He would get him back confident.
yep,
I really like McDaniels for that for that aspect of what I'm saying, the way he coaches and how he
yeah,
believes in his guys. I would love to see that, bro, because man, I like Bryce Young. I think he was a little bit hyped coming out. But
yeah.
I mean he played amazing in college. So
No, he did. So
he went out there, he did his thing, but man, I would love to see him over there.
yeah, I
In
think that'd be
Miami.
a good fit.
I do
And
too.
like I said, I'm not the highest on Bryce Young, like from what I've seen, but I think that's a place where like you could see the best of Bryce Young. And
I agree.
so,
Yeah.
but so moving forward, obviously we had the game last night, Jets
Hmm.
Pats. I think Pat showed us who we thought they were coming into
Yeah,
the year
for
is,
sure.
but from the Jets side, man, like, look, I wasn't sold on Rodgers. I think he showed something crazy coming out. Like I loved what I saw from him. He,
Mm-hmm.
he looked great rolling out. Like I think it was early in the first. Like they flushed him out and he moved well, got the ball out
He
well.
moved well. He
Man,
had a couple carries. He did a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, there you go.
So like I love what I saw from him, which I, I'm gonna have to see it twice.
Right.
I'm gonna have to see it
Mm-hmm.
twice. I would love to see Garrett Wilson more involved. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing with me for the Jets, and I'm going to kind of tie this into the last holdout, obviously, of the NFL, Hassan Reddick. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the first 2 weeks they showed they could get no pass rush. They had what's his name go out on the IR, Jermaine Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name? Out on the
Yep.
IR. So it's like I thought last
That
week
was
when
week
he
one,
went out,
right?
huh?
Was that week one or week two?
Week 2. Yeah, week 2 he went out.
Didn't they have somebody else go out week one?
Probably, man.
I may be mistaken. I might just be thinking of how they ain't getting nobody to the quarterback.
Yeah. But I'm like, so I thought after week 2, I'm like, oh man, you got to go pay Hassan. Like,
Give him the bag. You got to give him the bag.
whatever he
I
needs.
thought that
Because,
after week one when they were
yeah, I
talking
did.
about it,
Yeah.
and he's losing money because of it. I'm just like, man, go.
Yeah.
He's
And I
really
think,
a game changer, bro.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He
I
makes
was
a
upset the
difference.
Eagles let him go. I'm
Me
still
too.
upset the Eagles let him go.
I wanted to pay him right now.
Facts.
I want to go get him right now.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I honestly, I was wondering. I was like, I almost was like, if I was running the Eagles, do I like, because we got what? We sent what did we, no, they paid us a third for him, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
I would almost be tempted to just be like, "Hey, we'll give you a fifth for it, bro. We'll give you a fifth for Hassan,
I mean,
and just pay him."
I would do it. I
But
would do it because I think he's that good.
but I also think it hurts him because it's almost like that fool's goal, right? Because like you come in, I think they had like 7 sacks against the Pats last night, something crazy, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but we all know the Pats O line is trash, and so I think it's going to be this. I honestly, at this point, if I'm Hassan, like I'm holding out the season. Like you've already
Yeah.
like dug in so much, bro. Like you can't, and I don't think they're going to continue to get that amount of pressure on the quarterback. I think it's going to look more like week 1 and 2 than it does last night.
I agree.
But what do you think about the Reddick situation and just the kind of Jets, how they looked as far as what they could look like going forward?
I like Aaron Rodgers, bro. I like what he did last night. I think that was good to see from A-Rod. You know what I'm saying? He made some throws. He moved around. I think that pass to Garrett Wilson for that touchdown was amazing.
Man,
That was. I mean, but Aaron Rodgers throws the best ball I think of anybody ever. So
yeah,
with Hassan, I would just give him the bag, bro.
yeah,
I would just go ahead and pay. It's just gonna make the defense so much better. Like
yeah.
it's worth it, and
Yep.
he's that valuable because I know as an Eagles fan, bro. Like without Hassan Reddick, we not getting that much pressure to the quarterback either. Like we ain't
Yeah.
really, we look different. So
Yeah.
man, right now it's the Jets. It's now or never kind of thing for them. So.
And that's my thing is like you're all in. Rodgers is 40.
Come on, man, you got to go for it. You got to give it all.
Yep, absolutely. But perfect. All right, so obviously talking about this week, I want you to give me the 2 games. I think you already gave me one. I'm going to exclude the Eagles and Saints because obviously that's going to be the games we're going to watch. But give me 2 games you are like I'm tuning in, and I can't remember the one you said earlier. But I know you said one.
I said Ravens and the
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yep. Ravens, Cowboys.
Sure. That's my number one. Well, that's my after the Eagles. That's my number one game, and then I will go. Texans and Vikings.
Okay, I like that one,
Vikings, bro. Yeah,
I like that one.
I want to see how Sam plays against their defense. I think their defense is good and is getting better and better. I think the people is going to do a really good job over there. But I really want to see CJ like hit his stride this season. I really want to see him I want to see Sam and CJ kind of light it up, and I want to see
Yeah,
a big game from both of them. So those are
and that
probably
was
my two
mine.
favorite games that I'm looking for.
Okay, so I that they just missed it. But I also like that one was like the one I'm like. So my second one was like right there with it, and
Mm-hmm.
so because I think it's gonna be a light show between Sam and CJ. My two Bills Jags because I want to see if the Bills can keep this going, and I want to see the Jags, bro, because Trevor, you just made one of the highest paid QBs. I think they got good weapons. Like
They definitely do.
starting 0-2, like I need to
Yeah,
like I want to see them get out of it, but I also like I said like Josh Allen's just fun to watch to me. Like I don't
yeah,
like
he
Josh
man.
Allen really, but man, he is fun to watch.
Nah, yeah, he does his thing, bro. He lights it up. I
Yeah,
want to see. I like Trevor too, bro.
yeah,
And I like the coach. So
yeah, yep. Same,
that's
same.
our
That's
guy.
another thing.
So I would love to see Trevor Lawrence really get his guys going because their offense could be pretty good, bro.
Yeah,
I think they could do some really good things, man. I really want to see them get that going. I want to see Travis Etienne kind of make that mark now in the league and
yeah.
kind of start to solidify himself as a premier back. I would love to see him really, really start opening it up. But I want to see Trevor put it together.
That's my
I
thing,
think the
man.
Bills gonna go ahead and do their thing. So I don't think there's nothing that I'm looking forward from them that I haven't already
Yeah,
seen. Um, but I do think this might be a good game for Keon to kind of get activated.
to get going. Yep.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And then my second one we talked about earlier, but I think this is like so when I was like talking about the Vikings Texans, I think both that game and this game gonna be like possible like exciting, just a lot of offense is the Chiefs Falcons.
That
So
was my third one.
yeah,
That was
see,
my third game. Yeah.
so I mean, I do think there's a potential like because the Chiefs got a solid defense, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think there is a potential where it gets out of hand quick for the Falcons because I think the
Yeah.
Chiefs are going to throw the ball heavy. But if Kirk Cousins can get those weapons going and it's a good day for him, like
Yeah.
I think that game could be crazy.
No, they could be neck and neck, bro, for sure.
Yeah,
I could see that being similar to the Ravens
yeah,
Chiefs game. Um, that's gonna be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I want to see Kirk Cousins, you know, get
yeah,
into it in Atlanta, like build off
yeah,
this momentum that they got after week 2, man. I would love to see that. I kind of feel like it's gonna be a convincing win for the Chiefs,
yeah,
but I could see it. I could see it, bro. I could see it being a close game.
yeah. No, absolutely. And that was one of the things. So the only thing that kind of separated the Vikings and Texans and the Chiefs one for me is like I think if it does end up being like convincing one way, so like same thing with the like if the Texans Vikings gets convincing one way, I don't think it's going to be like a fun watch. You know, if
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like, but I think if like the Chiefs get crazy, like
yeah.
it's going to be fun because
It'd
he's just
still
going
be
to
a fun watch. Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
feel
know what I mean. And now,
for sure.
granted, like I'm a little biased. I like Pat. Like Pat is one of
Yeah,
my favorite players to watch. So
man, for sure. I feel the same way.
but yeah, so you got Ravens, Cowboys, and you got Texans, Vikings. Yeah, Texans,
Hmm.
Vikings. I got Bills, Jags, Chiefs, Falcons, and then I think we both got Eagles, Saints because obviously
That probably would be my number one. Even
it
you
would
know
be
what I'm
mine
saying
too.
without it being
With
my favorite
yeah,
game. I just think that that's gonna be. I want to see us put some points up, man. I
yeah,
don't want to see us
and
go score 35 this week. Like
yeah,
let's
and I
put
think
it
that's the same
together.
thing. Even if it wasn't my team, I'd probably put it at one. But I was like, we can't. If I don't put that like little like caveat in there,
You know that's gonna be
yeah,
both of ours. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So, oh man. So, all right, and then we're gonna finish up the NFL segment here with you. Top three teams in the league. Who you think the top 3 teams in the league are right now?
Man, Chiefs. Right now, I gotta put Chiefs number 1 because, man, they're the back-to-back reigning champions.
Yes, yeah.
I think that, man, that's a tough one because it's so competitive right now, bro. Like, this is
Yeah.
probably the most competitive NFL that I've seen, like, in a while, bro. Everybody can beat everybody. So, number 2, probably got to go Bills, bro. Number 2, they're looking really good.
That third one is tough. So
the third one is really tough.
Because I'm be real, look, my top 2 are the exact same as yours. I got Chiefs, Bills,
like,
bro. But that third one,
that third one is tricky, bro, because there's so many ways you can go about it. Like,
yeah, and like, I mean, to your point, man.
What you think?
So I was gonna say, to your point of how like anybody can beat anybody right now, everybody's so good. Honestly, I considered it putting the Ravens at 0-2 as the 3rd best team in the league from my eyes, bro.
I'm considering it, bro.
But like, I'm not going to. Just I would almost, if they dropped that game to a better team than the Raiders, I would like, I'd have them probably pushing top 3. I'd have them probably in my top 5. But the 3rd team I'm gonna go with, man, again, it's tough.
I feel like I know who you're gonna say, bro. But go ahead and say it.
Okay, I'm actually gonna go with the Saints.
I knew that's what I was gonna go with. I was saying you either gonna say the Bucks or the Saints. I was gonna say the Saints too, just because right now they look that good.
Yeah, they look real good.
They look really good right now.
And so it's funny. The Bucks were kind of going to be like that, like 5 or 6 range for me. The other team I had was the Vikings, because I think with that head coach, quarterback, and Justin Jefferson, and like I think that is like tough. The only reason I went with the Saints is I think their defense is a little better, and I think while obviously Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league, I think the overall weapons that the Saints have is better.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, man, the Saints they playing some really good ball right now.
Yeah,
so I think they're playing better football than the Vikings. And the Bucks. So yeah, I agree with that.
That's your top 3.
Yeah.
So we both locked in on the top 3.
We locked in right there.
Perfect, man. All right, well, like I said, that's going to do it for the football stuff. But what I do want to do, obviously, one of the big parts of the podcast, man, is kind of getting into fashion and things like that. Obviously, we do the wine stuff, but obviously, you got your brands that you work with, man. So we got Las Vegas Apparel, we got PRC, man. Tell me a little bit of like what got you into it, like into the clothing, into the fashion stuff, like, and then tell me about the brands themselves.
So initially, what really, man, I mean, we've been knowing each other for so long, bro. Like, you never know me as no fashion guy. You never know me as somebody who really like was always talking about this or nothing like that. So
no, absolutely.
Was, man, going into senior year, getting ready for the football season, there was Nike did like a little, some kind of a documentary, I would say, around Gorman. And it was like, they spotlighted like 3 guys on the team. I happened to be one of those guys. So,
okay.
I was doing interviews and they were asking me kind of like, what am I working on in the off season? What do I want to fix, or what do I want to get better at? And my answer was precision. Like, I want to be more precise, with my passes, with my reads and things like that. So that kind of stuck with me, like that word, bro. So from then, like
Yeah.
I just kind of started saying it a lot more. People kind of started associating me and precision together, like, synonymous with just kind of who I am, bro. And I made like some T-shirts and some like crew necks my senior year of high school, and that was the first time that I made clothes. Was
Yeah.
literally T-shirt. It just said precision on there. And they, what I'm saying, I sold them, and they sold out at Gorman, and it was cool. I got to USC, um, ran track, bro, and then I think it was my sophomore year. It had to be my freshman year where I really started developing the brand. Like, I met my homie DJ Morgan, who was at SC with me. He was on the track team. He was also on the football team. He really inspired me to develop the brand because he had a brand of his own called Gusto. So he was kind of like my initial like mentor, kind of to like teach me how to go, where to go. You know what I'm saying? To make clothes, how to wear it downtown. Has the jackets, the t-shirts, the hoodies, and the hats and everything to go get embroidered and things like that. So once he showed me how to do that and where to go, it was just like a light bulb, man. I just was going crazy. Like I was just
Yeah.
making a whole bunch of hats, you know what I'm saying, selling them around campus. They were selling out. So that's how I started like taking precision a little bit serious at the time.
Okay.
Fast forward to like 2018, that's when I got injured. Um,
Okay.
Broke tib fib at the national
Yep.
championship, won the national championship, but just couldn't really. I mean, I was rehabbing, bro, for like 2 years, 3 years. I think I
Yeah.
ordered in 2018, and then I didn't compete again until 2021. So I came back home in 2019 and was like super locked in and serious about starting precision to like really, you know what I'm saying, make it a real thing.
Mhm.
Um, so Ray. So you know what I'm saying? I met Ray
Yeah.
in like 2014. So we have been working closely together just from afar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sending each other designs, kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. Once I got back home in 2019, that's when Ray and I was like, we had always talked about doing like a Milk Money Precision kind of a collab. But
Mhm.
that's essentially what Las Vegas Apparel is. So we decided to do Las Vegas Apparel. That's the collaboration of like Milk Money and Precision coming together. You know what I'm saying? We're a service-based company, so that's where Las Vegas Apparel comes from. So Las
Okay.
Vegas Apparel is a brand development company. We offer a many services, bro, from design services, tech pack services, manufacturing services. We do marketing in certain instances with some clients, strategy. You know what I'm saying? We'll work with the brand from A to Z. But we
Yeah.
also we're working on our wholesale and our retail right now. So you know what I'm saying, that part of the company
Yeah.
is being developed right now. So pretty soon here we'll have a lot of, you know what I'm saying, we'll have pieces available for wholesale and for retail. So,
Okay.
and PRC on the other hand is the reimagined version of precision. Essentially, PRC is precision, but
Yeah.
it's more of a mature brand. It's more of a designer brand, a luxury brand. I spent a lot of time focusing on Las Vegas Apparel, which just helped me to learn a lot about branding, a lot about manufacturing, a lot about developing product. Because you know what I'm saying, I was so eager just to make clothes, because once you figure out like, you know what I'm saying, this is all you got to do. You just got to go downtown. You got to have the ideas. I never had an issue with the
Yeah.
ideas. It was like, man, just bringing them to life. So once I
Yeah.
understood how to bring them to life, it was like, man, I'm about to just design everything. I'm about to make everything. And I kind of
Yeah.
skipped the process of development when I got back home in 2019 and just went right into like, oh dang, I designed like these pieces. I'm about to drop them right now. I'm about to drop everything. I feel like I was a little premature. You know what I'm saying? Back then,
Yeah,
I was excited. I didn't really understand as much about the importance of developing the brand. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
PRC now is that reimagined version. Precision by Randall Cunningham is what PRC stands for. So yeah, that's now like the the grown up version of what I'm saying
yeah.
PRCZN, which was Precision at first.
Perfect, man. And so, obviously, anybody that's watching, I know you said the Las Vegas apparel, like you guys working on the retail and everything.
Mm-hmm.
PRC, we got pieces out yet? Is it coming soon?
It's coming very soon. Like I'm talking
All
very
right.
soon. So it's in process right now. It's being worked on right now, bro. So before this year is up, we'll have some PRC, the first
Perfect, perfect,
installment of it. So I'm excited about that.
perfect. All right, man. You got, and like, I'll get the information from you. We'll definitely put it in the bio. So, like,
Okay.
anybody wants it. And just for anybody who doesn't know, man, Las Vegas apparel, I mean, from what I've seen, y'all got, I mean, you did a whole set for Jordan Childs, man, that looked
Oh
crazy.
man, it's been going well, bro. It's been growing. You know,
Yeah,
the reach has been getting further and further. So man, God is good. We trying to stay working hard, bro. Stay consistent. But yeah, it's
yeah,
been going well, man. We've been able to work with a lot of cool people. Been able to, what I'm saying, do some cool things for some athletes like Jordan, like Caleb, like
yep,
Edgar Berlanga. We've been able to work with a lot of people that we think are pretty cool. So man, yeah, that's been the fun part. You know what I'm saying, of doing Las Vegas apparel and being able to meet and work with a lot of new clients and just new people that we're inspired by and motivated by already. So yeah, that's what's up for
yeah.
us.
Nah, man, I appreciate you sharing it. Like I said, we'll get the info down in the links down below, and so
Most
definitely
definitely.
when we get those PRC pieces out, man, we gonna work on getting those ones sold out and getting
Oh
that
yeah.
next wave.
Oh yeah, most definitely, bro. When we talk a little bit off camera, I'll give you a little bit more of the rollout and the idea behind it. But
No,
yeah, man,
hey man,
it's
yeah,
it's in there. It's almost ready to go. So stay tuned.
no, absolutely. And it's funny because man, like I'm glad you shared it because I've always wondered, kind of like, because like you said, like I've known you a long time,
Man,
and like never really known you into like the fashion and stuff. But then I'm like looking
yeah,
at like the stuff that like you've done with Precision, the stuff you do with Las Vegas Apparel, and I'm like, some of the stuff is like very like fashion forward, and so I'm like,
yeah,
so like, and me as somebody who's like, I'm just recently getting into like all the fashion stuff in the last
mhm,
probably like year or so.
right.
It's it's cool to kind of hear how it all came about with you, and so no, I appreciate you sharing that, man.
Man, thank you, bro. I appreciate you asking about it for real.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man, absolutely. Well, like I said, man, we definitely gonna get you back on the pod. Um, like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
one of the big things I want to do with the pod is definitely like kind of focus on some stuff that like mainstream pods aren't. So like, I
Hmm.
definitely want to do track and field because obviously I have a history in it. You have
Yeah.
a much bigger history in
I
it.
would love,
So,
bro. I would love that. Anytime you want me back on the show, man, I'm always
yeah,
down.
man. Oh
Track
no, we
season gonna
definitely
be
gonna do
fun.
it. Yeah, especially like I said, I definitely I'll probably get you on again for the NFL
Hmm.
before because I'm indoor. I think starts like beginning of the year, and
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. It's not too
so
far
yeah,
away.
so yeah, so we'll get you in. I definitely want to do kind of a special episode on that. We'll get you in with that. Get you in for the NFL again, man. But again, man, I just want to I appreciate you taking the time. Like obviously, you like family to me, and so I appreciate you just hopping on here
Likewise.
and
Anytime,
doing
bro.
it, man.
You already know what it is, fam. It's always been like that, bro. I appreciate you. I'm happy that you started this, bro, and you
Man,
consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's growing and it's building.
trying,
So,
man.
nah, I love it, bro. I think it's fire. I think Let's Be Real is the next up and coming show, man. So, yeah, man, I want to encourage you to just keep doing it, bro. Keep getting better and better, like you already doing, bro. And whenever you need me or want me on the show, man, let's just go ahead and run it, man. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, I know I said last week on the pod, I definitely want to eventually get it where it's not like split screen. I want us to be live. So that way, man, you don't even got to worry about the wine. I'll take care of the wine, bro.
Oh man, that's the next time. Let's just set that up. Let's go ahead and get that in development, bro. Let's set that up.
Absolutely,
I want
absolutely.
to
I'm
pull
working
up
on it.
for sure.
Absolutely. So, but nah, man. So I appreciate you again. Look, everybody who's here, man, it's just like, subscribe. We on YouTube, we on Spotify, we on Apple Podcasts, and we're gonna be back next week, man. I appreciate you, like I said, hopping on and just kind of encouraging me, because I know this has been something I've probably talked about doing for over a year, and you one of the people who was like, man, you got to do it, you got to do it. So,
Oh yeah, you
you
natural,
always
bro.
been. Yeah, you always been helping me with that, and so I appreciate it, man. But we'll definitely get you on soon, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll probably see you tomorrow, bro.
Effects. Yep.
All right,
We
let's
hooping
go ahead
tomorrow?
and do it. Oh yeah, we do it. We hooping tomorrow, man. We in there.
Bet. All right, man. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, man. But I appreciate everything, and yeah, man.
All right, B. Much love, bro. See you soon, man.
All right.
All right, peace.
Peace.